Chapter 1982. Seeing Murong Yu pick up the herbs at a faster pace, the level 8 elders outside the herb garden felt their hearts bleed. We have to call the palace master over. The level 8 elders from domineering Shock Palace discussed for a while before sending out a message. At the same time, the others also sent out a message to call for the most powerful experts in their respective forces. Murong Yu naturally knew what was going to happen. Hence, he picked up speed again. In the end, he even conjured thousands of energy clones to pick the herbs together. With Murong Yu's hard work, it did not take long for him to pick all the aged herbs in the entire herb garden. At this moment, the leaders of the various forces did not appear. Murong Yu heaved a sigh of relief. Even if the leaders were to come, he was not afraid anymore. This was because he could leave. Even the level 9 Creation Realm people could not do anything to him. However, Murong Yu was now faced with the problem of how to leave this place. Of course, he could teleport away immediately. However, that would expose the fact that his space treasure could not only carry living people, but also teleport people. If it could only carry living people, it would not be very tempting to these experts. After all, although there were very few space treasures that could carry living people, it did not mean that there were none. In the entire chaos space, only Hichu Luoshu could be used as a teleportation formation. Not to mention the creation realm, even experts who were 10 or 100 realms higher would be envious. Hence, Murong Yu did not want to expose the secret of Hichu Luoshu if it was not necessary. However, if he did not teleport away directly, how was he going to leave this place? Once he appeared, the level 8 elders would definitely take action to control him immediately. Moreover, when AI Feichi and the rest arrived, they might have a way to enter the formation. Of course, the premise was that AI Feichi was not killed by the cold-looking young man. Swoosh! With a flash, Murong Yu disappeared from the spot. This kid has entered the space treasure. Is he trying to fight a battle of attrition with us? The level 8 elders outside the herb garden immediately thought of this. Among the medicinal herbs collected by Murong Yu, there was no lack of precious insight realm medicinal herbs. Medicinal herbs of this grade were extremely useful to them. It was quite beneficial for them to break through to a higher realm. If Murong Yu thought that he could outlast them, then Murong Yu was gravely mistaken. These level 8 elders would definitely be waiting outside the array, waiting for Murong Yu to appear. Time was not a problem for them at all. Haha, weren't you curious as to how I was able to enter this place? That's because I know how to get in and out of this formation. I forgot to tell you that this array formation also has a teleportation ability. You guys can continue to wait outside. Young Master is going to teleport away. Murong Yu's loud laughter came from the herb garden, causing the expressions of many rank 8 elders to change. If that was the case, then what was the point of waiting here? However, did the array formation of the medicine garden really have a teleportation function? Regarding this, they were also somewhat skeptical. Thus, no one left. Instead, they continued to stand guard outside. However, there was no news of Murong Yu anymore. In that case, had Murong Yu already left? The answer was, of course, yes. Murong Yu did not need the teleportation ability of the array formation to leave directly. However, he did not say that on the spur of the moment. He had this thought for a long time. Since those people could not enter, they would not be able to control the array formation. They would not know if the array formation had the ability to teleport. Not long after, the leaders of the 9 great forces arrived one after another. When they heard about this, the expressions of the 9 great forces did not look good. The wealth of the medicinal herbs collected by Murong Yu had already exceeded the value of their entire forces. After all, their entire wealth might not even be comparable to a single insight realm medicinal herb. Furthermore, Murong Yu did not just obtain 1 or 2 insight realm medicinal herbs, but a large number of them. It was not wrong to describe it as a sea of them. If Murong Yu was still here, he would definitely click his tongue in wonder. This was because AI Feichi was actually not killed by the cold-looking half-step Insight Realm young man. This old man does have some strength after all. However, this fellow's face was pale and his eyes were lifeless. He was probably heavily injured. After all, the cold-looking young man was a terrifying half-step Insight Realm existence. If AI Feichi did not pay a certain price, how could he escape? AI Feichi and the rest were also skeptical about Murong Yu's teleportation. Moreover, they were also quite curious about the array and restriction of the herb garden. Therefore, the sect leader of the Blazing Red Sect, one of the 10 great forces, who was a powerful existence at Creation Realm Level 9, suggested that everyone break through the array formation. After all, even if an 8th level elder could not break through the array formation, it did not mean that they could not. After they were ready, the sect leader of the Blazing Red Sect took the lead and charged toward the array formation. Swoosh! As soon as he stepped into the herb garden, he had already triggered the array formation. Subsequently, an illusory and terrifying sword slashed down rapidly with a terrifying force that could destroy heaven and earth. At this moment, the sect leader of the Blazing Red Sect was shrouded by an extremely strong aura of death. With the reaction speed of a peerless expert, he immediately reacted. At the same time, he retreated rapidly. Poof! The top Creation Realm origin weapon above his head was slashed into two by the illusory sword. Due to his reaction speed, the sect leader of the Blazing Red Sect had already retreated. Moreover, the illusory sword was also stopped by his origin weapon for a moment. Even so, one of the sect leader of the Blazing Red Sect's arm was still cut off by the illusory sword and blood gushed out. If it was not for his reaction speed, he would have been slashed into two like the 3 8th level elders. It was extremely terrifying. Moreover, what shocked the sect leader of the Blazing Red Sect the most was that he could not stop the bleeding from his severed arm, let alone regrow a new arm. Of course, with his powerful strength, it was not impossible for him to recover. However, it would take a long time. Moreover, with his current strength, he would not die even if all his blood was drained. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. Especially those elders of the 8th rank, each one of them felt lucky in their hearts. Fortunately, they were able to control themselves. Otherwise, they would have been dead. The sect leader of the Blazing Red Sect was a supreme existence in the 9th level of the Creation Realm. He could crush them with one finger. Even he was almost killed, let alone them. The muscles on AI Feichi and the others' faces were twitching. They were secretly relieved. If the sect leader of the Blazing Red Sect had not been too anxious, perhaps they would have been the ones who had their arms cut off. Due to the sect leader of the Blazing Red Sect, no one wanted to continue to break through the formation. Instead, they changed their method and wanted to master the formation and restriction. However, they did not know that Murong Yu was lying to them. Murong Yu estimated that the formation and restriction were set up by at least a profound realm expert or even an expert of a higher realm. Although the sect leader of the Blazing Red Sect and the others were powerful, it was impossible for them to master the formation. Of course, all of this had nothing to do with Murong Yu. At this time, Murong Yu had already left the herb garden and walked towards the center of the ruined city. Along the way, he found that the closer he got to the center of the ruined city, the better the buildings were preserved and the more advanced the treasures were. The location of the herb garden was only in the central part of the ruined city. There were already profound realm-level treasures in the central part of the ruined city. What level of treasures would appear in the center of the ruined city? The realm above the profound realm? Murong Yu could feel the existence of the realm above the profound realm. At least there was a chaos controller above it. However, he had not even come into contact with a profound realm expert. He did not know what the profound realm was like, let alone what the realm above the profound realm was. He did not even know if there was a realm other than the chaos controller. In the process, Murong Yu harvested several profound realm-level origin tools. The harvest could be said to be quite rich. At the same time, Dongfang Lang and the others also gained something. However, the harvest was far less than Murong Yu's. After all, Murong Yu had collected the entire huge herb garden. Besides the herb garden, Murong Yu's main harvest was the origin tools. There were no more medicinal herbs, elixirs, or treasures of heaven and earth. The ruined city had existed for too long, and many things had already decayed. Huh! Murong Yu suddenly rubbed his eyes with his hand and looked in disbelief at the huge statue in the center of the city in front of him. When Murong Yu first came in, he had already seen this towering statue. But at that time, he did not see the statue clearly. It was too blurry. He only vaguely saw that the statue was of a man. But just now, he suddenly saw the appearance of the statue clearly, and that was what shocked him. Because the statue was too similar to a person. The master of the Seamless Society. At first, Murong Yu thought he was hallucinating. Therefore, he was a little uncertain. But no matter how he looked at it, the statue was exactly the same as the master of the Seamless Society. Of course, he had only seen a power clone of the master of the Seamless Society. But with his memory, he definitely could not remember it clearly. Then, the question was, what kind of existence was the master of the Seamless Society? He had appeared in the Holy World. Then, Murong Yu found a profound thunder bead that originally belonged to the master of the Seamless Society. Now, there was a statue of the master of the Seamless Society? What did all of this mean? Was there any connection between all of this? As for the Downlord of the Seamless Society, had he perished or not? Could it be that this ruined city is one of the dojos of the master of the Seamless Society? Murong Yu thought in his heart. Chapter 1983. If this was one of the dojos of the never-ending underworld's Tao Master, then this dojo's was so dilapidated that there wasn't even a single person here. Did that mean that the never-ending underworld's Tao Master had already perished? This thought appeared in Murong Yu's mind, but he quickly rejected it. It was obvious that this dojo's had been in ruins for a very long time. In the Holy World, Murong Yu had even met the never-ending underworld's Tao Master. This city had been in ruins first, and then Murong Yu had met the never-ending underworld's Tao Master. If the never-ending underworld's Tao Master hadn't perished, then why was his dojo's so dilapidated? Thinking back to the profound lightning bead that had almost been shattered, Murong Yu vaguely sensed that the never-ending underworld's Tao Master wasn't in a very good state. Even if the never-ending underworld's Tao Master hadn't perished, he was probably injured and quite seriously. Otherwise, he definitely wouldn't have let his dojos continue to decline. The more this was the case, the more worried Murong Yu became. And so, he walked towards the center of the ruined city. As long as he came into contact with the never-ending underworld's Tao Master, he would definitely find some clues. Perhaps Murong Yu could follow these clues to find the never-ending underworld's Tao Master? On this day, Murong Yu was slowly walking towards the statue. Of course, he wasn't flying over directly. Although he wanted to find some clues about the never-ending underworld's Tao Master, the statue wouldn't run away. However, the treasures in this ruined city would be taken away by others. Thus, Murong Yu collected all the treasures along the way. Suddenly, Murong Yu abruptly stopped in his tracks. In that moment, he suddenly felt an incomparably strong sense of danger. At the same time, Murong Yu also felt a sense of familiarity. The stern youth had found him. This was Murong Yu's first reaction. Sure enough, a figure slowly stepped out of the void in front of him and finally landed not far in front of Murong Yu. "How did you find me?" Murong Yu's face was a little gloomy as he looked at the cold-looking young man. His heart was already in his throat. This fellow was much stronger than Ai Feiqi. He was a half-step netherworld realm existence. Ai Feiqi was no match for him. Although he was monstrous, no matter how monstrous he was only in the third level of the Bright World realm. A smile appeared on the stern young man's face, but it was very cold. My name is Lin Zhe. The reason why I am here is because we are the same kind of people. I can feel your presence. As long as you are within a certain distance, no matter where you are, you will not be able to escape my senses. Lin Zhe. The same kind of people? Murong Yu's eyes narrowed slightly as he looked at Lin Zhe and coldly said, I'm sorry, but I'm not the same type of person as you. You are a half-step Insight Realm cultivator, and I am only a level 3 Bright World Realm rookie. The reason Murong Yu said this was because he knew that the other party had already discovered his existence when AI Feichi was chasing after him. However, he still did not understand how the other party could sense him. Why couldn't he sense anything at all? You must be very curious as to why I can sense you. Do you know why I said that we are the same kind of people? Lin Zhe did not get angry because of Murong Yu's cold attitude. His voice was still as cold as ever. Murong Yu did not speak. He only looked at the other party coldly. In reality, he had already raised his strength to the maximum. He could escape into Hichu Luoshu at any time. Of course, the prerequisite was that he could escape. Because we are both soul cultivators. Lin Zhe's words stunned Murong Yu. Soul cultivator. Murong Yu was indeed stunned. From the cultivation world until now, the number of soul cultivators that Murong Yu had met could be counted on one hand. Those people were either unable to break through in the end, or they were already dead. Furthermore, after Murong Yu became the ruler of the Holy World, he realized how rare soul cultivators were. In the entire Holy World, there were definitely less than 3. After breaking through reincarnation and entering the endless universe, Lin Zhe was the first soul cultivator he had met. The only tragedy was that the other party was much stronger than him. Could it be that Lin Zhe could sense him just because they were both soul cultivators? Murong Yu knew that his soul cultivation wasn't weak, but why hadn't he sensed anything like this? Since the other party had already pointed it out, Murong Yu might as well admit it openly. That's right, I am a soul cultivator. But why don't I sense it? Furthermore, although we are the same kind of people, I don't know you, and I don't want to have anything to do with you. As he spoke, Murong Yu was about to leave. However, Lin Zhe's figure flashed, and he blocked his way again. Don't be in such a hurry to leave. Don't you want to know why I found you? Don't you want to know how I sensed you? Murong Yu looked at the other party seriously, then shook his head. Although he was more interested, this guy was too dangerous, and he did not want to stay here. Murong Yu could sense that the other party had appeared because he was plotting something. I can sense you because I cultivate a type of soul cultivation method. As long as you are a soul cultivator and are within a certain distance of me, I will be able to sense you. It's the same even if you are hidden in a spatial treasure. Although Lin Zhe had a cold appearance, he was like a chatterbox. He chattered nonstop on his own. As for why I found you? Of course, it's not as simple as you and I being the same kind of people. At this point, Lin Zhe's face revealed a hint of joy, and even a hint of madness. Do you know what realm my soul is in? The peak of the Bright World realm. Just half a step away from breaking through to the creation realm. However, the soul is really too difficult to cultivate. I have stayed here for countless years, but I still can't break through. Moreover, there are too few soul cultivators. There are no cultivation techniques or battle techniques at all. Originally, I was already in despair. However, I didn't expect to see you in the blazing light secret realm. If I'm not wrong, your soul should be at the peak of the rebirth realm, right? Although your soul is a little weak, if you can raise it to the chaos realm, your soul power will be much stronger. When that time comes, as long as I devour your soul, my soul will break through to the creation realm. Then, with my battle strength, it won't be a problem for me to kill a profound underworld realm expert. Lin Zhe said excitedly. However, Murong Yu's expression was very ugly. He had long known that this guy was up to no good, but he did not expect him to be another person who wanted to devour his soul. Seeing Morong Yu's gloomy expression, Lin Zhe laughed. You don't have to be like this. You should feel honored to be devoured by me. At least, when you were alive, you could have experienced the taste of a Chaos Realm soul. Without me, you wouldn't even be able to break through to the Chaos Realm. Also, don't think of escaping in front of me. The space here has already been sealed by me. Unless a profound underworld realm expert intervenes, no one can save you. Morong Yu felt extremely depressed and annoyed at the same time. The reason why he did not escape was because he realized that the space here had been sealed by the other party. There was no other way. The other party was simply too strong. He was not someone he could contend against. Whoosh! Lin Zhe suddenly made his move. He stretched out his large hand and caught Morong Yu before he could react. This was also the reason why Morong Yu did not struggle. He was definitely not a match for the other party now, so he could only wait for an opportunity. Moreover, didn't this guy say that he wanted to improve his soul? When the time came, he would properly repay him. Morong Yu was like this. The more dangerous it was, the calmer he was. After being caught by Lin Zhe, Morong Yu was stuffed into a spatial treasure in the next moment. Then, Lin Zhe walked in. Lin Zhe waved his hand and then, a huge ball appeared in front of Morong Yu. Morong Yu looked over and was surprised to find that this ball actually contained a huge amount of soul power. Moreover, this soul power was extremely pure. This soul power is condensed from the souls of countless cultivators that I have killed and extracted from their souls. It's a pity that there are too few soul cultivators. Those who are not soul cultivators have souls that are too weak. Although this soul power is very pure, it is not of much help to me in my breakthrough. You are lucky today, Lin Zhe said excitedly with a smile. Morong Yu's heart sank. How many cultivators had he killed and how many souls had he taken to condense this drum-like ball? Morong Yu did not find it difficult to understand Lin Zhe's words. The reason why Lin Zhe could not break through was probably not because of the soul power, but because he lacked comprehension. And Morong Yu's soul was able to cultivate to the peak of the rebirth realm. He definitely had a lot of souls, and after breaking through to the chaos realm, he would definitely have more comprehension, and devouring such souls might allow Lin Zhe's soul to break through. Cultivate. Don't even think about escaping. You won't be able to escape in my treasure space. Lin Zhe tossed the ball to Morong Yu and walked away. However, he did not really leave. Instead, he watched Morong Yu cultivate from the side. This was a good opportunity. Morong Yu did not hesitate to grab the ball and start cultivating. At this time, only a fool would reject such a good opportunity. Who cares? I'll break through first. After that, I'll think of a way to deal with Lin Zhe. That way, my chances of escaping will be higher. Morong Yu's soul had already reached the peak of the rebirth realm. Moreover, his soul power was sufficient. The only thing he lacked was a large amount of soul power. Therefore, under his frenzied devouring, his soul finally broke through in a few days. He broke through from the peak of the rebirth realm to the chaos realm in one go. Moreover, the soul power in the ball had not been completely consumed. Therefore, Morong Yu did not stop and continued devouring. And Lin Zhe, who was watching from the side, did not stop Morong Yu from continuing to devour the soul power. The stronger Morong Yu's soul was, the more help it would be to him. It would be best if Morong Yu could break through to the bright world realm in one go. That way, he would have 100% confidence in breaking through. Chapter 1984. It was unknown how many people's souls had been used to condense that ball of energy. Not only was it pure, but it also contained a huge amount of energy. It allowed Morong Yu to break through a major realm, from the rebirth realm to the chaotic realm. Then, under Morong Yu's continuous devouring, Morong Yu's soul continued to break through one small realm after another. The early stage of the chaotic realm, the middle stage of the chaotic realm, the late stage of the chaotic realm, and even, finally, Murong Yu's realm was pushed to the peak of the chaotic realm in one fell swoop. The soul realm was different from the cultivation realm. There were no 9 small realms from the first stage to the 9th stage. Instead, there were 4 small realms: the early stage, the middle stage, the late stage, and the peak. With the accumulation of the enormous soul power, Murong Yu's soul, which had already comprehended enough, broke through in one fell swoop and rushed from the peak of the rebirth realm to the peak of the chaotic realm. However, after reaching the peak of the chaotic space realm, the soul power in the sphere had been completely depleted. This made Murong Yu feel that it was a pity. However, being able to break through a major realm was a pleasant surprise. Therefore, Murong Yu was not too greedy. Seeing that Murong Yu could break through to the peak of the chaotic realm, Lin Zhe was very excited. Therefore, he did not stop Murong Yu from consolidating his soul realm. The more stable his realm was, the more benefits he would obtain after devouring. Moreover, his soul realm was at the peak of the bright world realm. Even if Murong Yu broke through to the bright world realm, he would still be under his control. Many days later, Murong Yu slowly stood up. At this moment, he had already consolidated his peak of the chaotic realm. At this moment, he was looking at Lin Zhe with a calm gaze. Lin Zhe, should I be grateful to you? Or should I be grateful to you? Lin Zhe laughed. You should be grateful to me and you should feel lucky. Because you will be devoured by me. As he spoke, Lin Zhe had already reached out his big hand to grab Murong Yu. This time, Murong Yu did not act rashly. Instead, he showed the attitude he should have at this time. Therefore, he took the initiative to launch a soul attack. Holy Soul Slash. A level 9 chaotic void realm soul attack slashed towards Lin Zhe. However, Lin Zhe only sneered. A soul attack of this level was like a child's play in front of an expert. He only needed to lightly shake his soul to shatter Murong Yu's soul attack. Murong Yu's strongest attack was the soul attack. Therefore, after seeing that his attack had failed, he did not continue to attack. That was a pure waste of energy. Lin Zhe, you will never obtain my soul. Even if I self-destruct, I won't let you off so easily. Murong Yu's face suddenly turned ferocious. He was actually preparing to self-destruct his soul. Lin Zhe had a look of disdain on his face. If you can self-destruct in front of me, then wouldn't I, a pinnacle bright world realm soul master, have wasted my time? As he spoke, an incomparably terrifying pressure suddenly erupted from his body, directly suppressing Murong Yu. Plop! Murong Yu's entire body was suppressed to the point that half of his body sank into the ground. Then, Lin Zhe reached out his hand and directly inserted it into Murong Yu's soul space. When he saw the incomparably huge soul sphere, he could not help but be stunned. What was going on? After being stunned for a moment, a strong sense of jealousy grew in Lin Zhe's heart. Although he did not know what the soul sphere was or what ability it had, it was obvious that Murong Yu's understanding of the soul was more than his. Murong Yu was just a disciple of a cheap star system in the solar system. How could he understand more than him? He was the third young master of the Lin family. However, Lin Zhe soon sneered. So what if Murong Yu was monstrous? Wasn't he still devoured in the end? After devouring Murong Yu's soul, he would inherit Murong Yu's comprehension and ability. He would also have this soul sphere. Therefore, he did not touch Murong Yu's soul sphere now. Instead, he directly grabbed Murong Yu's soul. However, when he grabbed Murong Yu's soul, Lin Zhe was once again stunned. Why did he feel that Murong Yu's soul was a little weak? It did not seem like the soul of a peak chaotic realm at all. Not to mention the chaotic realm, it did not even seem to be at the peak of the rebirth realm. Perhaps all of his power is concentrated in that soul orb. Lin Zhe found a plausible reason for his suspicion. In the next moment, he grabbed Murong Yu's soul from his soul space and devoured it. In Lin Zhe's soul space, Morong Yu's soul had already been sealed and swallowed by Lin Zhe's soul. Lin Zhe, man proposes but God disposes. Do you think you can devour my soul? Who knows what will happen in the end? Morong Yu's voice suddenly sounded in Lin Zhe's soul. At the same time, a loud sound suddenly came from Lin Zhe's soul. It was obvious that Morong Yu's soul had self-destructed. Self-destructed? It did not matter. Lin Zhe could still devour it. Therefore, he only sneered. But soon, he could no longer sneer. This was because he suddenly realized that Morong Yu's self-destruction did not cause any substantial damage to him. However, after the self-destruction, there were more than 10 raindrop-like things in his soul. Waves of extremely strong and dangerous aura constantly came from these black raindrop-like things. Before he could react, waves of incomparably intense pain caused him to scream uncontrollably. At the same time, Lin Zhe was even more shocked to find that his soul was rapidly being corroded by these raindrop-like things. In just an instant, a third of Lin Zhe's soul had been corroded. Ah! What the hell is this? Lin Zhe screamed crazily. Morong Yu's voice sounded, Do you know the sky spider? This is the sky spider poison water. More than 10 drops of Destiny Realm Level 9 sky spider poison water. Lin Zhe, enjoy it. Lin Zhe's face instantly turned pale. The Destiny Realm Level 9 sky spider poison water was enough to kill him, a half-step insight realm expert. Moreover, his soul was not as strong as his cultivation. He was only at the peak of the Bright World realm. Morong Yu, you're dead. Our Lin family will not let you go. Your entire solar system will be buried because of your stupidity. Lin Zhe roared crazily. However, his voice became softer and softer. Finally, his voice disappeared completely. This was because his entire soul had been corroded. At this moment, Morong Yu quickly took action and took away Lin Zhe's spatial treasure. Just as the spatial treasure left Lin Zhe's body was completely corroded. Not even a powder was left. Clang! After the sound of metal clashing, a long sword fell to the ground. A glint flashed through Morong Yu's eyes as he grabbed the longsword with his hand. This long sword could resist the corrosion of the sky spider poison water. It was at least a Insight Realm origin item. In Morong Yu's opinion, this long sword was at least a top-grade Insight Realm origin item. It was very precious. After throwing the long sword into the Hichu Luoshu, Morong Yu pondered. Lin Zhe said that he was from the Lin family? Moreover, he wanted to destroy the entire solar system. This meant that the Lin family should be a colossus even bigger than the Sun sect. The solar system did not have a colossus like the Lin family. This meant that the Lin family should be outside the solar system. They should be at least a Insight Realm origin item. Moreover, it could be a force that surpassed the Insight Realm. This made Morong Yu a little depressed. Why did he offend enemies that were much stronger than him? He had not dealt with the Sun sect yet, and now an even stronger force had popped up. This hatred, however, Morong Yu was not too worried. He did not know where the Lin family was. Even if he knew that Lin Zhe was dead, he probably did not know where he died. Even if he knew that Lin Zhe died in the Lai Guang secret realm, he would not know that he was killed by Morong Yu. Then, how did Morong Yu kill Lin Zhe? Hadn't his soul been devoured? In fact, all of this was done deliberately by Morong Yu. He acted according to the circumstances. During this period of time, Morong Yu's main soul had been in the Hichu Luoshu. The one in his soul space was only his soul incarnation. Originally, Morong Yu only did this as a precaution. However, he had already used this method to save his life several times. Ever since Lin Zhe was captured, Morong Yu had been planning. The only thing he could use to kill Lin Zhe was the sky spider venom. However, Lin Zhe was much stronger than him. Even if Morong Yu used the sky spider venom, he might not be able to hit him. Thus, Morong Yu had been waiting for the right opportunity. When he learned that Lin Zhe was going to devour his soul, Morong Yu had secretly hidden the dozen drops of sky spider venom in his soul incarnation. After his soul incarnation was devoured, he detonated the dozen drops of sky spider venom. Morong Yu had been afraid that 1 or 2 drops of sky spider venom would kill Lin Zhe, so he had detonated all of it. In the end, Lin Zhe was unable to escape and was poisoned to death by the dozen drops of sky spider venom. This made Morong Yu feel that it was a bit of a pity. Of course, it wasn't because of Lin Zhe's death, but because of the sky spider venom. If he had used it well, he would have been able to kill a dozen half-step profound insight experts. But now, he had only killed Lin Zhe. It was really too much of a waste. However, he had obtained Lin Zhe's spatial treasure. The treasures inside should be able to make up for the loss of the sky spider venom, right? While Morong Yu was lamenting the waste, in a place far, far away from the solar system, a huge monster let out an earth-shattering roar because of Lin Zhe's death. Chapter 1985. The Lin family, even in the local area, was a colossal existence with terrifying power. Lin Zhe was the third son of the current head of the Lin family and was one of the most beloved people of the current head of the Lin family. He was known as the third young Master Lin. The third young Master Lin did not disappoint. He had reached the half-step insight realm at such a young age. The upper echelons of the Lin family knew that the third young Master Lin was not only a half-step insight realm cultivator, but also a soul cultivator. Therefore, Lin Zhe's position in the Lin family could be said to be number 1 among the younger generation of the Lin family. His position was even comparable to some of the senior elders of the Lin family. It could not be helped. Soul cultivators were just that precious. Once they grew up, they would definitely be earth-shattering. Therefore, when they heard that Lin Zhe had died, the entire Lin family was in an uproar. The current head of the Lin family was even more enraged and roared continuously. However, there was something suspicious about this. As the number 1 among the younger generation of the Lin family would definitely not be at ease with him going out to train by himself. Therefore, Lin Zhe had some methods left behind by the current head of the Lin family. For example, he had left behind a projection and a divine will clone. As long as it was in the nearby star field, any expert who knew of Lin Zhe's identity would have some reservations and would not kill him. After all, he had obtained the Lin family. If they encountered someone who wanted to kill Lin Zhe, the methods left behind by the current head of the Lin family would quickly kill them. However, the current head of the Lin family and the others did not feel that the methods they left behind on Lin Zhe had not been activated. There was only one reason for this, and that was that Lin Zhe had died too quickly. He had died before those methods could even be activated. To be able to kill Lin Zhe so quickly, one had to be at least an intermediate insight realm cultivator. Therefore, the furious Lin family immediately pointed their suspicion at the enemy of the Lin family. As for the solar system, they had never even thought about it. Of course, while they were suspicious, the Lin family also used all the methods they could to investigate the truth of this matter. With the power of the Lin family, it was only a matter of time before they found the Lai Guang secret realm. Morong Yu was not worried about this. So what if they knew? How would they know that it was Morong Yu who killed Lin Zhe? Even if they knew that Morong Yu was killed, where would they find Morong Yu? However, if Morong Yu knew that Lin Zhe had many divine sense incarnations left behind by the Almighty, he would probably be scared half to death. An expert of that level, even if it was just a divine thought incarnation, could easily destroy him. Whoosh! Morong Yu's figure flashed and entered Hichu Luoshu. In the next moment, he activated Hichu Luoshu's teleportation ability and disappeared on the spot. Then, he prepared to take inventory of his gains. This was where he was being cautious, leaving immediately after killing the enemy. Otherwise, if he encountered something bad again, he might be killed. Although it was extremely dangerous this time, and Morong Yu's soul had almost been devoured by Lin Zhe. However, danger and opportunity always coexisted. Murong Yu's soul had risen from the pinnacle of the rebirth realm to the pinnacle of the chaos realm. Based on this point alone, even if there were no other gains, Murong Yu would definitely make a profit. His cultivation realm was at the third level of the Bright World realm, which was comparable to the third level of the creation realm. If coupled with his soul that was at the pinnacle of the chaos realm, Murong Yu was now confident that he could kill a third-level creation realm expert instantly. If coupled with the weapon fragments, even a fourth-level creation realm expert could be easily killed. As for the fifth level of the creation realm, this level of existence was much stronger than a fourth-level creation realm expert. Murong Yu had not encountered such an existence yet, so he was not confident that he could kill them. However, it would not be easy for a fifth-level creation realm expert to kill him. However, Murong Yu's attention was no longer on these mid-level creation realm experts, but on the high-level creation realm experts and even the insight realm expert. It could not be helped, who asked his enemies to be so powerful. Those high-level experts were the ones who forced him to go after them. In addition to the breakthrough of his soul, Murong Yu also obtained Lin Zhe's space treasure and the long sword he carried on his back. The long sword was very extraordinary, and it was at least a top-level Insight Realm origin artifact. However, this long sword was too obvious, and if he took it out and used it, he would be recognized very quickly. Therefore, the end result of this sword was either to be sealed or to be devoured. Because Lin Zhe was already dead, his space treasure was already in an ownerless state. Because of this, Murong Yu's divine sense was able to easily enter the room. Big. This was the first impression that Lin Zhe's space treasure gave Murong Yu. Many. The second impression was many. This space treasure was simply like the treasure trove of a force. There were many things in it, and the number and types were countless. Moreover, every one of them was good. Murong Yu casually looked around and realized that the worst item in Lin Zhe's space treasure was a supreme-level creation realm item. There was really nothing below supreme level. There were also quite a number of insight realm items. Origin artifacts, pills, heavenly treasures. These items were naturally the most abundant. Murong Yu also discovered that Lin Zhe's space treasure had many cultivation techniques and battle skills. Especially those cultivation techniques, which were even more profound and powerful than the Sun Sutra. These cultivation techniques should be considered high-grade even in the Lin family, right? Murong Yu thought to himself. However, Murong Yu could no longer cultivate other cultivation techniques. As for Lin Zhe's battle skills, some of them were very powerful. However, they were not suitable for Murong Yu, so he skipped them. In the end, Murong Yu discovered a few interesting things. When he figured out what was going on, cold sweat poured down his forehead like a waterfall. These were all transparent balls the size of a pinky finger. They looked like glass beads, and there was nothing special about them. However, in Murong Yu's eyes, these glass beads contained a terrifying power. The power light was very intense. At first, Murong Yu thought that these beads were like soul balls that he had devoured. However, he soon discovered that they were not. This was because these glass beads would occasionally emit traces of an extremely strong and dangerous aura. It even made Murong Yu's hair stand on end. The power light had surpassed the half-step insight realm and should have reached the insight realm. After studying it, Murong Yu confirmed that these beads were not something, but a seal, and sealed within the seal was a divine consciousness incarnation. Once this bead was shattered, the incarnation would appear and attack the target with all its strength. Murong Yu estimated that with the power of these beads, they were comparable to an ordinary insight realm expert. In other words, these beads could kill insight realm experts. These were good things, even more terrifying than the sky spider poison water. Murong Yu felt that it was a pity that he had wasted the sky spider poison water, but now he no longer felt that it was a pity. Not to mention a dozen drops of sky spider poison water, Even a dozen buckets could not compare to one bead. Moreover, it was not just one bead, but 3. In other words, Morong-yu could kill 3 ordinary Insight Realm experts. Immediately, Morong-yu suppressed the excitement in his heart and carefully transferred the 3 beads into the Hichu Luoshu. These 3 beads were now Morong-yu's strongest trump card. With them, he would not be afraid even if the Sun Sect's sect leader attacked him. In the end, Morong-yu named these 3 beads Incarnation Sealing Bead. He could not always call them beads, right? Moreover, this was only what he called them. Who cared what others called them? Morong-yu continued to count the goods. After half a day, Morong-yu finally stopped. To sum up today's harvest in one sentence, it was a huge harvest. A lot of benefits. Moreover, Morong-yu's most urgent source of crystals had been replenished. It was even 1,000 times, 10,000 times more than before. The most important thing was that these crystals were of a higher grade. First, it's time to go to the center of the broken city. Morong-yu thought in his heart and walked out of the Hichu Luoshu. He first contacted Dongfang Lang and the others, and found that except for him and those who died, everyone had already reached the center of the broken city, which was under the huge statue of the Seamless Society's sect leader. Because Morong-yu had wasted a lot of time breaking through the Soul Realm. Immediately, Morong-yu also flew toward the huge statue of the Seamless Society's sect leader. On the way, he did not stop, because with the strength and speed of Dongfang Lang and the others, they would have already swept away all the treasures on the way. How could there be any good things left for Morong-yu? Flying directly, Morong-yu's speed was much faster. But when he got close to the center of the broken city, it still took him a full day. One could imagine how big this broken city was. Morong-yu. When Morong-yu appeared, Ai Feichi gnashed his teeth and looked over with a face full of resentment. Ai Feichi, pay attention to your status. Dongfang Lang looked at Ai Feichi with a gloomy face and murderous intent. If Ai Feichi dared to make a move against Morong-yu, he would definitely stop him at the first moment. Dongfang Lang, is your Dongfang family going to fall out with our Thunderclap Valley because of this person? This person killed Ai Xinghua, I must kill him. Ai Feichi's face was gloomy, and murderous intent overflowed. Dongfang Lang's face was ugly and his voice was low. You saw Morong-yu kill Ai Xinghua? Perhaps Ai Xinghua was killed by some restriction or array formation. Don't talk nonsense if you don't have evidence. Also, our Dongfang family is not afraid of your Thunderclap Valley. If you want to fight, I will accompany you at any time. Dongfang Lang was also angry, and he glared at Ai Feichi. On the other hand, Morong-yu, the person involved, had a nonchalant look on his face, as if the dispute between the two had nothing to do with him. He only raised his head and looked at the towering statue of the Seamless Society's sect leader, lost in thought. Chapter 1986. Standing beneath the huge sculpture, Morong-yu wasn't unable to clearly see it due to the angle he was at. On the contrary, he could see it even more clearly. This was indeed the statue of the Seamless Society's Tao Master. However, what made Morong-yu feel strange was that this statue seemed to be a weapon. This was because when he got closer, Morong-yu discovered that this statue was actually shining with an intense light. Moreover, this light was not weak. It was much stronger than the half-step Netherworld Insight Stage Lin Zhe. This is actually a weapon? What kind of person would make their own statue look like a statue? Morong-yu was speechless. If it was him, he definitely wouldn't do such a shocking thing. After all, using his own statue to fight? Morong-yu didn't have such a hobby. However, just because Morong-yu didn't do it didn't mean that others didn't. Just like the people of the Holy World, every one of Morong-yu's followers had a small statue of Morong-yu. This didn't exclude the possibility that some people had refined Morong-yu's statue into a saint artifact, and such a huge statue was erected in the middle of this rundown city. Thus, Morong Yu thought of a possibility. This could be one of the Seamless Society's Tao Master's dojo, or he might have helped this rundown city in the past. Out of gratitude, the people erected his statue here. This explanation was more reasonable. However, Morong Yu was more interested in this huge statue. This was possibly a Netherworld Insight Stage origin artifact. Even if it wasn't an origin artifact, Morong Yu still wanted to take it away. After all, this was the statue of the Seamless Society's Tao Master. It was a bit too much to let him stand here in the wind and rain. Thus, Morong Yu slowly walked up. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people's gazes all gathered on Morong Yu. Even the enraged AI Feichi, who was about to start a fight, looked at Morong Yu with a dumbfounded expression. This was because they had been here for a long time, but they couldn't get close to the statue at all. This was because once they got close to the statue would release a force that would send them flying. This was neither a formation nor a restriction. It was a method the sculpture used to protect itself. Over the past many days, it was not that they had not attempted to do so. However, no matter how hard they tried, they were unable to approach the lightning. However, Morong Yu was able to walk in with ease. The power that sent them flying had never appeared. This not only made them feel depressed. When they thought about how Morong Yu had entered the herb garden, they couldn't help but wonder if Morong Yu was the reincarnation of the city lord of this ruined city. Otherwise, how could he walk here as if he was walking on flat ground, while the others were struggling to move forward? Oh no, I'm afraid the benefits here will be obtained by that brat again. Suddenly, the 9 great powers all had the same thought. Following that, one of the controllers made his move. He stretched out his hand and grabbed at Morong Yu. They were not willing to let Morong Yu obtain the treasures here alone. Although the sculpture didn't seem to be anything special, they felt that it wasn't real. This statue might hide some shocking secret. It might even be the inheritance of a profound underworld realm expert. Dongfang Lang flew into a rage and threw out a punch. On the surface, Morong Yu was a member of the Dongfang family. Secretly, Morong Yu was their master. He would definitely not watch these people attack Morong Yu. However, just as Dongfang Lang attacked, other than the person who attacked Morong Yu, the other controllers of the 8 great powers also attacked. They directly destroyed Dongfang Lang's attack. At the same time, they slowly closed in on Dongfang Lang. Dongfang Lang's face was very gloomy. With his strength, it was not a problem to deal with 1 or 2 of them. However, when the 8 of them joined forces, he was no match for them. As for those elders of the 8th level, although they did not attack, the elders of the 8 great powers were also eyeing Dongfang Yuan and the others covetously. This made Dongfang Yuan and the others speechless and depressed. Buzz. The Hall Master of Tyrannical Shock Temple's hand was about to grab Morong Yu. At this moment, the statue that had been standing between heaven and earth without any abnormalities suddenly trembled. A white light immediately appeared and blasted directly on the Hall Master of Tyrannical Shock Temple's attack. With a poof, the Hall Master of Tyrannical Shock Temple's attack was blasted into pieces. However, the white light did not disappear. It did not even pause and blasted directly at the Hall Master of Tyrannical Shock Temple. The Hall Master of Tyrannical Shock Temple's expression changed slightly. He snorted coldly and threw out a punch. Oomph! The white light was shattered by him with a single punch. However, the Hall Master of Tyrannical Shock Temple was also sent flying by the impact. In the void, a trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. He was actually injured and vomited blood. Seeing this scene, Dongfang Lang and the others were greatly shocked. On the other hand, Morong Yu acted as if nothing had happened. He was not affected at all. This not only made these Creation Realm Level 9 experts feel stifled. Why were they, Creation Realm Level 9 supreme existences, inferior to a Bright World Realm Level 3 cultivator rookie in this shabby city? Ha ha ha! Dongfang Lang laughed loudly and no longer attacked. Instead, he turned and retreated, standing together with the Dongfang family's level 8 elders. Dongfang Yuan and the others looked at Ai Feiqi and the others with mocking eyes. In particular, the Hall Master of Tyrannical Shock Temple was collectively despised by them. It was too embarrassing. The Hall Master of Tyrannical Shock Temple's face was a little red. It was not that he was too weak, but that the white light was much stronger than the previous attack. Therefore, he was caught off guard and was injured. This white light is a little strange. Everyone, join forces to detain Morongyu. The Hall Master of Tyrannical Shock Temple walked back and said in a low voice. His failure to attack Morongyu made him quite angry. Although the leaders of the other 8 forces wanted to laugh at the Hall Master of Tyrannical Shock Temple, it was more important to suppress Morongyu now. Therefore, they attacked together, intending to detain Morongyu. On the other side, Dongfang Yuan and the others looked at Dongfang Lang. Patriarch, don't we have to stop them? Dongfang Lang shook his head. He believed that even if all of them attacked together, they would not be able to detain Morongyu. Moreover, he could not stop them even if he wanted to. If he was at the half-step insight realm, he might be able to stop them, but with his current strength, it was impossible. As expected, when everyone's attacks entered the range of the sculpture trembled once again, and an incomparably blinding white light appeared out of thin air. The moment the white light appeared, Ai Feiqi and the others felt an incomparably strong aura of death envelop their hearts. With a thought, everyone directed their attacks, which were originally aimed at Morongyu, towards the white light that had appeared out of nowhere. Boom! After an earth-shattering explosion, the power of both sides disappeared. However, the leaders of the 9 major forces were all sent flying one after another. Blood trickled from the corners of their mouth. Moreover, a few unlucky Grade 8 elders from the 8 forces who were closer to them were directly crushed to dust and died. On the other hand, the Dongfang clan who was watching the show from the sidelines was not affected at all. In fact, they did not feel any danger at all. This must be because of the sculpture. It would target anyone who harbored ill intentions towards it. Damn it! The leaders of the 9 forces all had gloomy expressions on their faces. This was too embarrassing. However, the more it was so, the more terrifying the sculpture was. It was at least at the insight realm. Could this sculpture be a profound insight realm origin tool? The same thought appeared in everyone's minds, and they became more and more excited. Then, everyone turned to look at Morongyu. At this moment, Morongyu had already risen into the air and was flying toward the sculpture's head. No one knew what was going on with Morongyu, so they could only watch as Morongyu put on a show. Only Morongyu knew what was going on. Previously, he had tried to take this sculpture. After a few attempts, he realized that this sculpture could be taken away. However, the sculpture was too heavy. With Morongyu's current strength, he could not take it into the Hichu Luoshu. In other words, he had failed. However, this sculpture was a origin tool, so it was possible for it to recognize him as its master. As long as it recognized him as its master, Morongyu would be able to use it. However, Morongyu still felt that he did not know where to start. Therefore, he flew up and wanted to take a look around. Therefore, in the process of flying, he kept checking the sculpture with his immense divine thought. The more he looked, the more shocked he was. There was no other reason. This sculpture was not a sculpture but was refined by someone. He did not know what material was used to refine it, but it was very compact and hard. Morongyu compared this sculpture with the Insight Realm origin tools in his hand. He realized that even Lin Zhe's longsword could not compare to this sculpture in terms of material. In other words, this sculpture was of a higher level than Lin Zhe's top Insight Realm origin tool. Could it be a origin tool that surpassed the Insight Realm? He was excited just thinking about it. However, Morongyu was only slightly excited. If he could not take it away, even if it was a Chaos Controller level origin tool, it would have nothing to do with him. Soon, Morong Yu flew near the sculpture's head. The sculpture was lifelike. Its eyes, nose, mouth, and ears were exactly the same as the real thing. However, Morong Yu still felt that one of the sculpture's ears was different from the other facial features. There seemed to be a doorway there? Morong Yu walked straight in. Because the sculpture was huge, the sculpture's ear hole was like a huge cave. Morong Yu did not feel narrow when he entered. It was indeed a door. However, it was tightly shut. Morong Yu tried and realized that he could not open it. There were no cracks in the doorway to enter. After trying many methods, Morong Yu simply sat down and thought about the strange things he had encountered along the way. Chapter 1987. Morong Yu had a chaotic celestial body physique, so he was immune to all restrictions and formations. Thus, along the way, none of the restrictions or formations could stop him. It was as if he was taking a leisurely stroll through a courtyard. However, there were no formations or restrictions in the vicinity of this huge statue. Why had Morong Yu come in here? Why had the others not been able to take half a step closer to the lightning? This was definitely not because of his physique. If it was just a pure power attack, how could it differentiate between his physique? His physique did not have the ability to be immune to power. Otherwise, he would be heaven-defying. So, what was the specific reason? While Morong Yu was deep in thought, he suddenly recalled something that he had almost forgotten. When he had approached the statue, it seemed as if a kind of divine sense had shot out from the statue and swept past his body. It was so fast that Morong Yu almost did not notice it. Perhaps the statue was scanning him? Was it because he had been scanned that the statue did not attack him? But why had he been scanned? Could it be because of my relationship with the Seamless Society's master? Otherwise, there's no other explanation. Morong Yu thought to himself. He did not cultivate the techniques of the Seamless Society, because it would be useless. However, he was the disciple of the Seamless Society's master. In the past, the Seamless Society's master had left something similar to a divine sense clone on his body. Perhaps it had sensed the aura of the Seamless Society's master? If that's the case. Morong Yu suddenly stood in front of the door. Then, he pressed his hand on the door. At the same time his hand touched the door, Morong Yu had already magnified the faint aura that the Seamless Society's master had left on his body. Moreover, he had also activated some of the techniques of the Seamless Society. Although it was useless for him to cultivate, it did not mean that he could not use these techniques. As if he felt that this was not enough, Morong Yu took out the mysterious thunder bead. Although the mysterious thunder bead had recognized Morong Yu as its master, it had previously been the Seamless Society's master's origin tool. Rumble, sure enough, Morong Yu's guess was not wrong. With a series of loud noises, the door was directly opened. Morong Yu's face showed a touch of joy, and then he strode in. Rumble, just as Morong Yu entered the sculpture, the door closed. Morong Yu turned his head and looked over, only to discover a switch near the door that should be used to open the door. With this switch, they could freely exit the interior of the sculpture. However, it would be difficult for them to enter. Morong Yu estimated that even a Nether Insight Realm expert would be unable to easily blast open this door. Behind the door was a long passageway. Morong Yu walked along this passageway. What rich heaven-earth Yuan Qi! I'm afraid it's even richer than Flying Wolf Planet's heaven-earth Yuan Qi. The deeper he went, Morong Yu realized that the heaven-earth Yuan Qi was getting richer. One had to know that the Flying Wolf star was a 4-yuan star. Could it be that the heaven-earth essence Qi inside this sculpture was comparable to the 5 elemental stars? That was a powerful origin star that could cultivate a Nether Insight Realm expert. Moreover, how did the heaven-earth Yuan Qi gather here without dissipating? This question surfaced in Morong Yu's mind. When he was outside, he did not feel that there was anything special about the heaven-earth Yuan Qi near the sculpture. Continuing to walk forward, not long after, an incomparably huge space appeared in front of them. It was probably about 100,000 miles in radius, and the location of this space should be the sculpture's head space. However, although the sculpture was huge, it was not to the extent of 100,000 miles in size. Therefore, there was another space inside the sculpture. This confirmed Murong Yu's guess. This sculpture should be an origin tool, and it was at least a nether insight realm level origin tool. In this huge space, the surrounding heaven-earth yuan qi lingered. The rich heaven-earth yuan qi was like a white fog shrouding the entire space. It was very suitable to cultivate here. Looking carefully, Murong Yu finally discovered why the heaven-earth yuan qi gathered here and did not dissipate. Other than the incomparably sturdy sculpture itself, there were also large amounts of array formations and restrictions scattered around. Some of the array formations and restrictions had the effect of confining the heaven-earth yuan qi. In the process of observation, Murong Yu even saw traces of heaven-earth yuan qi continuously entering this huge space. Other than the heaven-earth yuan qi that had the power of confinement, there were also array formations and restrictions that could devour the heaven-earth yuan qi. And these restrictions and array formations were very advanced. Although they were constantly devouring the heaven-earth yuan qi, there was nothing strange outside the sculpture. Murong Yu guessed that these array formations and restrictions actually had the same ability as the Tree of Life. They could directly devour the heaven-earth yuan qi in the vicinity of a large area. And the speed and range of the devouring were very uniform. It would not devour more heaven-earth yuan qi outside the sculpture and less heaven-earth yuan qi outside the sculpture. Murong Yu made a preliminary estimation. He found that the range of the heaven-earth yuan qi this sculpture could devour should be about the same as Pa City. In other words, the entire Pa City's heaven-earth yuan qi was within the range of the sculpture's devouring. This is too amazing. Murong Yu could not help but click his tongue in wonder. Even Hichu's array formation was studied with great interest. Murong Yu also studied it for a while. He found that these array formations were not necessarily very advanced and complicated. In fact, some of the formations were only the simplest ones, but after some improvement and combination, the current effect was produced. Of course, other than the confinement and devouring array formations and restrictions, there were also various array formations for attack, defense, and so on. After Murong Yu's study, he found that the entire space, and even the entire sculpture's head, was filled with all kinds of array formations and restrictions. There were countless of them. This incomparably huge space was like an incomparably huge square. And on one side of the square, there was a passage leading down. Murong Yu immediately walked down the passage. There was another huge space below, but it was different from the spacious square above. It was densely packed with all kinds of small rooms. Murong Yu casually walked into some of the small rooms and found that they were also self-contained spaces, like caves. But now they were all empty and there was nothing left in each cave. But the heaven-earth yuan qi in these caves was very rich. Murong Yu felt a sense of familiarity as he looked at the densely packed caves. This is the same as the Sun-Sex Sun Mountain, but this is inside the sculpture, Hichu suddenly said. Murong Yu's eyes flashed with a flash of light. Hichu's words reminded him. Isn't this the structure of a sect? There was a huge square above, and this level was where the disciples lived. Then, was the third level the place to do things? Like the mission hall, the library, and the treasure vault? Soon, Murong Yu went down the passage. Sure enough, it was exactly as he guessed. This was the function hall of the treasure vault, the library, the mission hall, and so on. But it was still empty, and nothing was left. However, there were two passageways leading downwards on the second floor. Murong Yu chose one of the passages and walked down one floor at a time until he reached the 10th floor. From the 3rd to the 10th level, after Murong Yu's research, the lower the level, the higher the level. For example, the 3rd level was where the 1st level elders lived, then the 4th level was where the 2nd level elders lived, and the 10th level was where the controller lived. and the 10th level also reached the top, and there was no passage to continue. Murong-yu went back to the 2nd level and walked down another passage. Just as he went down to the 3rd level, Murong-yu found that the gravity here seemed to be 10 times that of the 2nd level. And when he reached the 4th level, the gravity was several times that of the 3rd level. Murong-yu kept going down, and the lower he went, the stronger the gravity. And this floor was densely packed, and he didn't know how many floors there were. These floors should be where the cultivators who lived in the sculptures cultivated. Gravity was the most suitable for tempering the body. But now there was a problem. Where were the cultivators who lived in the sculptures? Where did they all go? The heaven and earth essence chi in the sculptures was very rich, and there was a gravity layer used to cultivate the body. These people should be very strong. But why were they all gone? And even the city outside was ruined. What happened at that time? While he pondered, Murong-yu had already returned to the plaza at the very top. Although he wanted to keep going and use the gravity to temper his body. But the most important thing now was to find a way to take this sculpture. As long as he took it into the Hichu Luoshu, he could come in and cultivate whenever he wanted in the future. Now the sculpture was still outside. If he didn't take it, it might be taken by someone else. At that time, it would have nothing to do with Murong-yu. But how to take this sculpture? The way I see it, this statue is clearly an extremely huge puppet, he too suddenly said in a shocking voice. Puppet? Murong-yu was shocked at first, and then he thought about it. In fact, everything he saw already proved that this sculpture was a puppet. It was just that Murong-yu didn't think about it in this way. Such a huge puppet, what kind of terrifying thing would it take to drive it? Although the heaven and earth essence chi here was rich, it was definitely not used to drive the sculpture. To drive the sculpture, at least crystals were needed, and it had to be a large number of high-level crystals. The strength of such a huge puppet was definitely terrifying. But with Murong-yu's current crystals, it wouldn't last long before he became a pauper. But, even if he couldn't drive it to kill enemies, it was very suitable for cultivation inside the puppet. Therefore, Murong-yu was determined to get his hands on the puppet. Moreover, if it was really a puppet, then there must be a way to take it away. It was just that he hadn't found a way yet. So, he began to check carefully, and finally found something strange on the 10th floor of the functional area. Chapter 1988. The functional area, which was the side where the elders and controllers lived, was separated from the other side of the cultivation area. Murong-yu found an altar-like existence that was covered by arrays and restrictions on the 10th floor of the functional area. This should be the hub of the entire sculpture. This was because Murong-yu found some pits on this altar that seemed to be used to place crystals. However, after discovering this altar, he still couldn't control the sculpture. After some research, Murong-yu found that the altar was only used to add crystals to the sculpture. There must be other ways to control the sculpture. The method of controlling the sculpture is similar to controlling the origin weapon. You just need to refine it. Hichu's voice sounded in Murong-yu's mind. Murong-yu rolled his eyes. This sculpture was so powerful that it was at least at the insight realm. He couldn't refine it directly. If he could, he would have taken this sculpture away. However, this sculpture is not only made of extremely hard materials, but there are also various arrays instilled in it. Without these arrays, this sculpture would lose the meaning of being a puppet. I guess that if you can understand the arrays in the puppet, you should be able to control the puppet. Hichu continued. Murong-yu shook his head helplessly. He also thought of Hichu's method, but it was the stupidest method. In the end, Murong-yu, who couldn't think of a way, could only use this method. Fortunately, his understanding of arrays was very high, and he had Hichu, an array expert, to assist him. Moreover, these arrays in the puppet were quite amazing. While he was researching, he was also increasing Murong-yu's understanding of array formations. His knowledge of array formations was constantly increasing. Murong-yu, on the other hand, had taken control of a formation or restriction before he could fully understand it. Therefore, as time passed, he comprehended more and more formations and restrictions, and the number of formations and restrictions he could control increased as well. However, there were too many formations inside the puppet. Murong-yu was unable to fully control it in a short period of time. Outside the puppet, the leaders of the 10 great clans and the elders of the 8 great clans looked at the huge statue nervously. Apart from the cultivators of the Dongfang family, the experts of the other forces all had gloomy expressions on their faces. It's been half a year, and Murong-yu still hasn't appeared. I'm afraid that he has already collected all the treasures in the sculpture? A level 8 elder from the Thunderous Valley sighed. In their opinion, there must be a large number of treasures inside the sculpture, and the reason why Murong-yu hadn't come out for so long was definitely because he was breaking the restrictions that sealed the treasures. It had been half a year. Even if there were treasures, they should have been taken by Murong-yu by now. The more they thought about it, the more pain they felt, because they also had a share of those treasures. Now, all of them had been plundered by Murong-yu. However, they could only be anxious. There was nothing they could do. They were unable to get close to the puppet. Once they got close, they would be repelled by the power of the puppet. Boom! A depressed level 8 elder threw a punch at the puppet across the air. Originally, he wanted to vent his depression, but he was soon shocked. The power is weakening. The level 8 elder cried out in alarm. This was because he realized that although the puppet's power had crushed his power, it was obvious that the power from the puppet had weakened a lot. This made him very surprised. At the same time, the others were also very surprised. What did the weakening of the power mean? It meant that they could get close to the puppet and even go outside the puppet. As long as the obstruction of the power was gone, how could Murong-yu, Dongfang Lang, and the others stop them? In contrast to their joy, Dongfang Lang and the others' faces were gloomy. Then, Dongfang Lang directly conveyed the changes here to Murong-yu. What? The power has weakened? Murong-yu was also shocked, but he soon calmed down. Even if the puppet could no longer release its power, it was almost impossible for those people to enter here. Even a profound underworld realm expert couldn't break the door and enter. Not to mention Ai Feiqi and the others. He was able to enter because of the seamless underworld's sect master. However, he was a little surprised. Why did the power of the puppet become weaker? It should be because you're controlling these formations and restrictions. The formations and restrictive spells under your control can no longer merge perfectly with the original formations, so the power they can release will become weaker and weaker. My guess is that the more formations and restrictions you control, the weaker the power of the puppet's attacks will be. In the end, when you completely control these formations and restrictions, the puppet will return to normal. Hichu analyzed for Murong-yu. Murong-yu nodded. Even if this was the case, he didn't have to worry about anything. Therefore, he told Dongfang Lang and the others not to do anything. They only needed to watch the show from afar. Instead, he continued to study the spirit array or restriction inside the puppet. Sure enough, as he controlled more and more formations and restrictions, the power released by the puppet became weaker and weaker. After 10 years, the puppet almost didn't have the power to release it. This proved that Murong-yu had controlled most of the formations and restrictions inside the puppet. Of course, this also meant that Ai Feiqi and the others could approach the puppet without any hindrance. It was their first time coming into close contact with the puppet. Ai Feiqi and the others immediately attacked. They wanted to drill a hole in the puppet's body to enter the huge puppet. However, they were upset because they couldn't even leave a white mark on the puppet even when they attacked with all their might. One could imagine how terrifying the puppet was. The more it was so, the more greedy they were. Since they couldn't break it, they could only go up. Previously, they had seen Murong-yu enter through one of the puppet's ears. Therefore, they walked up to the puppet's ear in a mighty manner. However, no matter how hard they tried, they still couldn't find a way to enter. This made them feel depressed. Nevertheless, they could only brace themselves and try to break through by force. However, it was destined to be a waste of effort. Inside the puppet, a faint smile gradually appeared on Murong Yu's face. Only the last formation is left. Once I control this formation, this huge puppet will officially follow my surname. Murong Yu laughed, but he didn't stop studying the formation. Rumble, not long after, the huge puppet shook violently. An extremely powerful force shot out from the puppet's body. Bang! 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 Ai Feichi and the others were caught off guard and were sent flying by the force. They should rejoice that the force that sent them flying was not that strong. It was only enough to send them flying. Otherwise, it would not be impossible for all of them to be killed. I've finally gained control of the puppet. Murong Yu laughed. By now, he had already gained control of all the arrays and restrictions. His divine will could travel through these arrays and restrictions, and he could freely scan every inch of the puppet. It could be said that from this moment onwards, Murong Yu had complete control over the huge puppet. Shrink for me. With a thought from Murong Yu, the indomitable puppet rapidly shrank. In the blink of an eye, it had shrunk to the size of an ordinary person. However, Murong Yu, who was in the puppet's space, did not realize that the space inside had shrunk correspondingly. What's going on? Ai Feichi and the others were stunned when they saw that the puppet had shrunk countless times. They couldn't react in time. While they were still in a daze, Murong Yu had already walked out of the puppet's space. He waved his hand and kept the puppet into the Hichu Luoshu. After controlling the puppet, Murong Yu could control it as he wished. It was no problem for him to keep it in the Hichu Luoshu. He kept the statue? Ai Feichi and the others finally reacted. They couldn't help but be envious of the puppet that they couldn't destroy and the various treasures that might be inside. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. One figure after another immediately shot over and surrounded Murong Yu. Dongfang Lang and the others were one step ahead of them. They protected Murong Yu and looked at Ai Feichi and the others with murderous intent. Murong Yu, hand over the statue and everything you got from this broken city. Otherwise, you will not be able to leave the Lai Guang's secret realm alive. Ai Feichi's face was gloomy and he looked at Murong Yu with murderous intent. Murong Yu looked at Ai Feichi and the other leaders with disdain. Now that he had a puppet that was comparable to the Netherworld realm and 3 incarnation sealing beads, he wasn't afraid even if a Netherworld realm expert came, let alone Ai Feichi and the others. If they forced him into a corner, he would immediately use Li Bao's incarnation sealing bead to kill all of them. Ai Feichi, do you have any shame? A level 9 creation realm expert actually dares to threaten a level 3 bright world realm cultivator? If I were you, I would have killed myself. Dongfang Lang sneered and looked at Ai Feichi with disdain. Ai Feichi's face was a little ugly, and the other leaders of the other 8 forces were also a little gloomy. Dongfang Lang, let's not talk about this nonsense. Today, Murong Yu will hand over all the treasures and the people of the Dongfang family can leave safely. Otherwise, all of you will stay in the Lai Guang secret realm. The Hall Master of Shock Hall said in a deep voice. Although the others didn't say anything, it was obvious that they had the same mentality as Ai Feichi and the others. If Murong Yu didn't hand over the treasures, they would definitely join forces to kill Murong Yu and the others. Dongfang Lang's face was very ugly. If they really wanted to attack, the Dongfang family would probably be wiped out today. There was no other way. The other party had too many experts, 8 times more than them. No matter how strong they were no match for them. Chapter 1989. Murong Yu's eyes flashed coldly as he looked at everyone. At this moment, he really wanted to throw out an incarnation sealing bead and kill all of them. However, if he killed the leaders of the 9 major forces and the 8th grade elders, this part of the universe would be in chaos. First, the major forces would fight for power. Then, the major forces would definitely fight among themselves. In the end, the people in this part of the universe would have no way of making a living. This was very disadvantageous to Murong-Yu's control of their forces. Murong-Yu wanted to control these 10 major forces, as well as gradually control the lunar sect and the solar sect, and become the ruler of the solar system. The solar system was his, and he did not want to see a large number of cultivators die. This would weaken the overall strength of the solar system. Therefore, although he was angry, he held back and did not use the incarnation sealing bead. However, if he did not use the incarnation sealing bead, how could he leave this place? Enter Hichu Luoshu? Not to mention that the space here was unstable due to the power of the major forces, it was impossible to enter. Even if they could enter, it would be Murong-Yu alone. Dongfang Lang and the others would not be able to make it in time. Once Murong-Yu escaped, the people of the 9 major forces would definitely attack Dongfang Lang and the others at the same time. How could Dongfang Lang and the others be a match for them? Therefore, thousands of thoughts flashed through Murong-Yu's mind as he thought about how to leave this place. However, he did not have a perfect solution. It seems that I can only activate the puppet and kill my way out. Murong-Yu thought to himself and was about to use the puppet. The reason why he did not use it directly was that Murong-Yu did not want to expose the fact that the puppet was a puppet. If such a powerful puppet was exposed, the people of the solar sect would probably come knocking on his door. Although Murong-Yu was not afraid, he did not have that many crystals. Without crystals to power it, the puppet was just a pile of scrap metal. Rumble, just as Murong-Yu was about to bring out the puppet, a series of earth-shattering sounds suddenly rang out. Murong-Yu and the others were shocked. They looked in the direction of the sound, only to see the void far away from the broken city collapsing in large chunks. Moreover, after the void collapsed, it turned into endless chaos and did not recover. Everyone's expression changed. This space was about to collapse. If they couldn't leave before the collapse arrived, they would be devoured by the endless chaos and die without a burial place. Go! The master of the Wang family could not be bothered to attack Murong-Yu. After yelling out, he grabbed the strongest person in the younger generation of the Wang family and flew toward the exit of the secret realm. At the same time, the people from the other forces had the same reaction. The treasures on Murong-Yu's body were indeed very tempting, but he needed to be alive to use them. As a result, they had to escape first and think of a way to kill Murong-Yu later. Moreover, even if they left the scorching secret realm, they would appear in the terrifying desert. By then, Murong-Yu would not be able to escape. Let's go too! Murong-Yu yelled with a sunken face. The collapse of the scorching secret realm should have something to do with the puppet. Otherwise, why would it only collapse after Murong-Yu took the puppet? Of course, the collapse of the space was extremely beneficial to Murong-Yu. It directly came into contact with the crisis of the Dongfang family. However, Murong-Yu discovered that the collapse of the space in the scorching secret realm made the space in the secret realm extremely unstable. He could not enter the Hichu Luoshu at all. If he tried to force his way in, he would probably charge into the turbulent space. The turbulent space in the endless starry sky was much more terrifying than the saint's world. If he entered with his current body, he would probably be torn to shreds. As a result, he could only fly out like the others. Swish! Swish! Dongfang Lang wanted to grab Murong-Yu. However, as soon as his big hand reached out, his vision blurred and he lost sight of Murong-Yu. In another flash, Murong-Yu's figure disappeared from his sight. What a terrifying speed! Everyone who saw this scene was stunned. Murong-Yu's speed was too terrifying. He was probably almost as fast as Dongfang Lang and the others. Originally, Murong-Yu's speed was not so fast, even if he used all his strength. However, after his soul broke through to the peak of the chaotic realm, his understanding of the 9 symbolic words deepened. The power of the army character formula was even more terrifying. Therefore, when he used the army character formula with all his strength, his speed was comparable to Dongfang Lang and the others. The collapse of the space rapidly came from all directions. However, there was still some distance to the exit of the scorching secret realm. With their speed, they should be able to get out in time. Swish, swish, swish. Everyone's only goal was to rush out of the scorching secret realm. Therefore, when they used all their strength, they quickly crossed the distance that would have taken them many days to cross and appeared at the exit. At this time, the place where the space collapsed was very close to the exit. It was only about 1,000 miles away. In less than a few breaths of time, the exit would collapse and cease to exist. Murong Yu was at the back again. This was because he did not want to use all his speed. Therefore, after verifying its terrifying speed, he let Dongfang Lang grab it and use it to paralyze the powerhouses of the other 9 forces. Therefore, the Dongfang clan was the last to rush into the scorching secret realm. Boom! Just as Dongfang Lang and the others rushed into the scorching secret realm, a huge hand that contained a terrifying power slammed down from above with a terrifying aura that could destroy heaven and earth. Bastard! Dongfang Lang's face instantly turned pale. He roared and slammed his palm down. At the same time, Dongfang Lang and the others attacked one after another. They unleashed their strongest attacks at the huge hand. Obviously, they did not know which bastard was plotting against Murong Yu and the rest of the Dongfang clan. They slammed their palm down. Boom! After an earth-shattering explosion, the huge hand that was slamming down was shattered. However, what made Dongfang Lang and the others feel despair was that the scorching secret realm's exit had also been shattered by their attacks. There was no exit. At this time, the void that they were in collapsed violently. Before Dongfang Lang and the others could react, they were swallowed by the endless chaos. The space continued to collapse. In less than half a day, the entire scorching secret realm had completely collapsed and turned into chaos. From then on, the scorching secret realm no longer existed. Outside the scorching secret realm, except for the powerhouses who had died in the ruined city, everyone from the 9 forces gathered together. However, the powerhouses from the 8 forces looked at Ai Feiqi with a gloomy expression. Ai Feiqi, what do you mean? How dare you kill Dongfang Lang and the others? Don't you know that Murong Yu has a treasure on him? The Hall Master of Shock Hall looked at Ai Feiqi with a murderous look. Everyone else looked at Ai Feiqi with the same expression. They wanted to slap Murong Yu to death. Ai Feiqi was the first to escape. He was supposed to be the first to leave the scorching secret realm. However, when he reached the exit, he suddenly slowed down. The others did not think too much about it. They just thought that Ai Feiqi's old injury had relapsed. Moreover, they could not even protect themselves now, so they could not be bothered with Ai Feiqi. However, what they never expected was that this fellow had deliberately stayed behind. He wanted to plot against Dongfang Lang and the others. Naturally, Ai Feiqi couldn't kill Dongfang Lang and the others with a single slap. However, the space happened to collapse at that time. As long as Ai Feiqi broke the space treasure, the space would naturally collapse and swallow Ai Feiqi and the others. It was obvious that Ai Feiqi had achieved his goal. Although his expression was cold, everyone could see the joy hidden in the depths of his eyes. This bastard had taken his revenge. However, Murong Yu was also dead. Murong Yu had many insight-grade treasures on him. Now, those treasures were buried in the endless chaos along with Murong Yu. They did not even get a single strand of his treasures. This was the reason why they were furious. I don't know what you're talking about. I just didn't have enough strength just now. I just wanted to borrow the strength of that slap. It's up to you whether you believe me or not. We'll take our leave first. Ai Feiqi sneered. Then, he soared into the sky and shot out of the desert. This old bastard must be going to wipe out the Dongfang family's forces. We can't get Murong Yu's treasures, but we can at least get a share of the Dongfang family's territory." The hall master of Shock Hall sneered and immediately left with his elders. The other forces also left one after another. Then, were Murong Yu, Dongfang Lang, and the others dead? Time returned to the moment when the spatial passage was destroyed. At this moment, Dongfang Lang, Dongfang Yuan, and the others were in despair. Without the passage they could not leave at all. If it were any other time, they might have a chance to leave. However, the Lai Guang secret realm was constantly collapsing. How could they have the time to leave? In the blink of an eye, they would be devoured by the endless chaos. While everyone was in despair and panic, Murong Yu was extremely calm. At the same time, he summoned the puppet with a thought. Walala, under Murong Yu's control, a large number of crystals were poured on the puppet's altar by Murong Yu. In the next moment, Murong Yu directly burned the crystals. Rumble, the puppet, which was originally just a sculpture, began to move at this moment. However, there was not enough time. The puppet could not transfer Murong Yu and the others into its body in time. Therefore, the puppet only opened its arms and hugged Murong Yu and the others. The puppet bent down and tried its best to protect Murong Yu and the others. Chapter 1990. Rumble. At this moment, Murong Yu and the others felt as if they were leaves being hammered by a violent storm, or like a lone boat in a stormy sea that could be torn into pieces at any time. "My lord, what is this?" Feeling the crazy impact on their bodies, Dongfang Lang and the others finally reacted and saw the existence of the puppet. Although the puppet was several feet tall at this time, its appearance was very different from its previous indomitable appearance. Moreover, Dongfang Lang and the others were in the puppet's arms and could not see the puppet's appearance clearly. That was why they asked, "It's a puppet." Murong Yu gave a concise reply and didn't say anything else. In fact, he did not have extra energy to speak. Although the puppet was different from an ordinary origin item, it did not require Murong Yu's own strength to activate it. In principle, as long as Murong Yu had enough origin crystals, the puppet could erupt with the strongest power. However, Murong Yu's origin crystals did not seem to be of a very high level. The mountain-like origin crystals were used up in a few breaths of time. One could imagine how big the puppet's appetite was. Moreover, the puppet not only had to protect them, but also resist the bombardment of the endless chaotic power. The bombardment of power was like a stormy sea. It was the power generated after the collapse of the space. At this time, the inexplicable power was strangling the puppet's body at an incomparably fast speed. This accelerated the consumption of the puppet's power. In just a few breaths of time, 1/10 of Murong Yu's origin crystals were used up. If he could not get out of here before all the origin crystals were used up, they would all die in the end. Although the puppet was powerful, without the origin crystals to drive it, it was just a piece of relatively high-level scrap iron and could not protect them at all. Therefore, Murong Yu controlled the puppet and began to break through the space, flying forward. In fact, Murong Yu and the others could already travel in the void. However, they could only travel on the surface of the space. Now, they were already in the depths of the space. If it were any other time, they would still be able to travel to the outside world. But now that they were surrounded by violent energy, they would be torn to pieces by the violent energy before they could even rush out. However, the effect of burning a large amount of essence crystals was still very obvious. At this moment, the puppet unleashed a strength that was even more powerful than Dongfang Lang and the others. With a swish sound, the puppet had already disappeared on the spot. When he reappeared before Murong Yu and the others could even breathe a sigh of relief, their faces suddenly changed. This was because they discovered that they had already charged into the turbulent space. Rumble, a power that was even more violent than the previous attacks came from all directions, striking the puppet. The impact caused the puppet's body to erupt with dazzling light. Although Murong Yu and the others were tightly held in the arms of the puppet, the terrifying impact still caused their blood to churn and their bones to almost shatter. During this process, the crystals were being consumed at an even more terrifying rate than before. Murong-Yu estimated that his remaining essence crystals could only last for 10 breaths of time at most. In other words, they only had 10 breaths of time to escape from the turbulent space. If they couldn't escape within 10 breaths of time, then they would be buried in the turbulent space, dying without a burial place. Although Dongfang Lang and the others didn't know what the specific situation was, seeing Murong-Yu's grim expression, their hearts were also in their mouths. My lord, the white spot in front should be something similar to a continent. Let's rush over. When Dongfang Lang was about to speak, he happened to see a white light in front of him. There was also a continent in the turbulent space. Murong-Yu nodded slightly and had already controlled the puppet to shoot toward the white light. During this process, Murong-Yu discovered that the white light in front of him was also shooting at an extremely terrifying speed. Murong-Yu was taken aback, but he didn't think too much about it. He could only clench his teeth and rush over. In the turbulent space, Murong-Yu couldn't enter Hichu Luoshu even if he wanted to. In other words, this was the only way for him now. Even if there was a dead end in front of him, he could only go on. 1 breath of time, 2 breaths of time, Murong-Yu and the others were getting closer and closer to the white light. And the closer they were, the clearer they could see what the white light was. It was a small continent. Furthermore, that small continent was shooting over at an extremely fast speed. But even if both sides were extremely fast, Murong-Yu's consumption of crystals was faster. 10 breaths of time was about to pass, but the distance between the two sides was still very far. After 10 breaths of time, all of Murong-Yu's crystals had been consumed. At this time, except for the star core, Murong-Yu had nothing else to provide for the puppet to devour. However, Murong-Yu still didn't have any hesitation. With a thought, he took out the star core and was about to burn it. With the huge power contained in the star core, the puppet should be able to hold on for a long time. Although it was too wasteful, if he died, what was the use of having more star cores? However, just as Murong-Yu was about to burn the star core, he changed his mind. Because the distance between him and the white light was extremely close. I hope the puppet can withstand the bombardment of the turbulent space. As Murong-Yu pondered, he immediately controlled the puppet to shrink its body and charged at the white light at an incomparably fast speed. However, the star core was still inside the puppet. As long as the puppet couldn't hold on, Murong-Yu would burn the star core immediately. Rumble, without the protection of the energy, the turbulent space bombarded the puppet. Without the protection of the energy, the puppet couldn't withstand or remove the energy. Therefore, after the puppet took away a part of the energy, more of it was directly used on Murong-Yu and the others. At that moment, Dongfang Lang and the others unleashed all of their strength to protect Murong-Yu while they forcefully resisted the incoming attack. Puff, puff, puff. In the first moment, Dongfang Yuan and the other level 8 elders were bombarded and spat out blood. In the next instant, the bodies of Dongfang Yuan and the others were bombarded, leaving ghastly wounds on their bodies. At this time, Murong-Yu had also gone crazy and the tree of life in his body was trembling violently. Streams of incomparably powerful life force rushed out like a torrent and quickly poured into the bodies of Dongfang Yuan and the others, repairing their physical bodies. However, the difference in strength between the two sides was too great. The effect of the life force couldn't achieve the expected effect at all. It was better than nothing. In the third moment, Dongfang Yuan and the others' bodies were about to be shattered. They could only resist for another moment at most. In the fifth moment they would be shattered into pieces. Once they died, Murong-Yu would also die. Even the puppet couldn't protect him. Therefore, Murong-Yu couldn't help but sigh and was about to ignite his star core. Dongfang Yuan and the others were the top experts of the Dongfang family. If they died, the Dongfang family would be useless. Therefore, he had to protect the Dongfang family. However, at this time, Morong Yu felt the pressure on his body suddenly disappear. In the next moment, an earth-shattering sound was heard. Then, Morong Yu and the others felt themselves being thrown out and scattered in all directions. Bang! 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 In the end, Morong Yu fell to the ground. However, at this time, the terrifying energy had disappeared without a trace. In its place was an extremely rich qi of heaven and earth. We've entered that small continent. After surviving the disaster, even Dongfang Lang couldn't help but exclaim. Morong Yu looked around and realized that he was already in a peach blossom land. The surroundings were green and shady, with small bridges and flowing water. The scenery was beautiful. The most important thing was that the qi of heaven and earth here was very rich and of a high level. The qi of heaven and earth of 4 Yuan star was simply the difference between an ant and a giant when compared to the qi of heaven and earth here. Haha, the qi of heaven and earth here is too rich. I feel that I can break through to rank 9 creation realm here. Dongfang Yuan laughed loudly. The other 8th rank elders and even Dongfang Lang had smiles on their faces. My lord, if I cultivate here, it won't take too long for me to reach the peak of the 9th level of the creation realm, or even break through to the half-step insight realm. Dongfang Lang walked over with a smile. A smile also appeared on Morong Yu's face. There was no doubt that they had walked into a treasure land. This was a treasure land floating in the turbulent space. Why did he say so? That was because the continent was still flying in the turbulent space at a terrifying speed. Moreover, the speed was constantly changing. From the outside, it looked like a small continent. However, after entering, Morong Yu realized that it was definitely a large continent. The space was definitely not inferior to 4 Yuan star. This was Morong Yu's most conservative estimate. However, although this place was very beneficial for cultivation, Dongfang Lang and the rest did not get carried away. Where exactly was this place? Was there any danger? How could they leave this place, leave the turbulent space, and return to the endless starry sky? These were all huge mountains that pressed on their hearts. However, Morong Yu was not worried at all. This was because he could feel the teleportation points from the endless starry sky on this continent. In other words, he could directly teleport away from this place. Heal your injuries first, then we'll explore this world. Morong Yu instructed Dongfang Lang and the rest to heal their injuries while he left first. Under the protection of Dongfang Lang, Dongfang Yuan and the rest, Morong Yu was not injured at all. He had just wasted all the origin crystals. Therefore, he wanted to explore the outermost area of this world, while Dongfang Lang and the rest were healing their injuries. Xingyang Dao Mansion? After a while, Morong Yu stood in front of an ancient stone tablet and looked at the words on the tablet. He was lost in thought when he heard the words, Xingyang Dao Mansion. Chapter 1991. Generally, the name of a place, such as a place where a powerhouse cultivated, would generally be named as a cave mansion or a cave heaven. At most, they would use words like a small world or a big world as suffixes. Rising Sun Dao Mansion. This rising sun should be the name or title of the master of this continent. However, it was the first time that Morong Yu had heard of the word Dao Mansion. He had never heard of it before. Moreover, he had a feeling that the word Dao was more powerful than any realm he had ever heard of. Of course, this was just a vague feeling in his heart. Whether this was the case, or whether this name had no special meaning at all, Morong Yu did not know. This continent was very big. Because he was worried that there might be danger inside, Morong Yu did not go in alone to explore. Of course, he was not worried about himself, but about Dongfang Lang and the others. Once they got separated from Morong Yu, it would be difficult to find them. Morong Yu did not want any accidents to happen to them. If Morong Yu had been alone, he would have already entered the depths. Many days later, Dongfang Lang and the others recovered their strength one after another. The speed of healing was dozens of times faster than before. There was no other way. The world's essence qi here was so rich. Even if they did not take the initiative to heal their injuries, their ability to heal themselves automatically became extremely high. Dongfang Lang and the others were also confused about the four people from the Rising Sun Dao Mansion. In fact, because Murong Yu controlled their souls, their knowledge was all under Murong Yu's control. Murong Yu had gathered the strengths of many schools. Coupled with his own knowledge and Hichu's, his knowledge had long surpassed Dongfang Lang and the others. Therefore, the group did not delay. They identified a direction and shot toward the deeper part of the continent. The deeper they went, the richer and more advanced the world's essence qi was. In the end, Dongfang Lang and the others were not willing to go deeper. Because they all wanted to stop and cultivate. There was no other way. The world's essence qi was too tempting for them. They simply could not refuse. However, they were soon unable to go deeper. It was not that they had reached the end. They were still far from the end. It was as if there was no end here. They couldn't see the editor from afar. However, an invisible wall blocked in front of Murong Yu and the others, preventing them from taking a step forward. Murong Yu's physique was also not of any use, because this was not an array formation at all, but pure power. Moreover, only a netherworld insight realm expert could barely break through these barriers and enter a deeper level. It was as if the void here had been divided into different regions. The area Murong Yu was in was the lowest level area, while the deeper areas were higher level. As for why they thought of dividing the regions, Murong Yu guessed that there were two reasons. One of the reasons was that the heaven-earth yuan qi inside was denser and more advanced. Once someone like Murong Yu, whose cultivation and strength had not reached the required level, entered, it would be very easy for them to explode. Another reason was that there might be terrifying existences inside. Those who had not reached a certain level of cultivation would only be courting death if they went in. However, who was this Xingyang? Why was there such a high-level Dao mansion? And why was it divided into different regions? Since they couldn't go deeper, Murong Yu and the others could only look out. They explored left and right. A few days later, Murong Yu found that this place was also divided into two regions. On one side was the region where they were. There was no danger, and there were no ferocious beasts. However, on the other side, there were all kinds of ferocious beasts. However, the highest realm of the ferocious beasts, there was only a half-step netherworld insight realm existence. It was unknown whether these ferocious beasts were unable to break through to a higher realm in their lifetime, or after breaking through, they were limited by the rules here and automatically entered a deeper level. On the other side was the cultivation area. Generally, one could fight with ferocious beasts to increase one's combat strength and experience. This Xingyang Dao Mansion is simply a training ground, Dongfang Lang said with a sigh. Murong Yu, Dongfang Yuanya, and the others nodded slightly. They thought so too. Then, who was this Xingyang? Why did he do this? This question appeared in the hearts of Murong Yu and the others, but they couldn't answer it in the end. Since this is a training ground, then is there a treasure of the creation realm in the main hall? Dongfang Lang said with a smile, his eyes shining. In the safe area there was a palace. This was something they had discovered before. However, they didn't enter the main hall at that time. Now that they had finished exploring, they naturally had to go inside the palace. After a while, Murong Yu and the others appeared in front of the main hall. This was a huge ancient palace that stood quietly between heaven and earth. No one knew how long it had been there. However, the door of the main hall was still closed. Murong Yu took the lead and walked to the front of the door. Those in the creation realm can enter. Those who are lower or higher than the creation realm are not allowed to enter. Otherwise, they will be killed without mercy. Suddenly, a low voice sounded in the ears of Murong Yu and the others, giving them a fright. This voice should be coming from one of the restrictions that Xing Yang left here. As long as it senses that someone is coming, this voice should be triggered. This is just a small trick. After Dongfang Lang was shocked, he immediately reacted and explained to Murong Yu. Murong Yu nodded, then pushed open the door of the palace and walked in. Whoosh! The moment Murong Yu entered the room, he felt a huge power similar to divine thought sweep across his body. It should be scanning his strength. At this moment, Murong Yu's heart sank and he couldn't help but feel a little nervous. However, the powerful power soon disappeared in his body. It should have checked that Murong Yu's strength met the requirements of the main hall. If Murong Yu didn't have any problems, Dongfang Lang and the others naturally didn't have any problems. A group of people walked in one after another. There was no other space in the main hall. It was the same as it looked on the surface. However, in addition to the main hall in the center, there were many rooms next to it. On the door of each room, there were words such as weapons, elixirs, book collection pavilion, treasures of heaven and earth, and so on. Obviously, those rooms were all kinds of treasure troves. Murong Yu and the others came to the room with the words, weapons, and then pushed the door in. The door was easily pushed open, and there were no guards set up. However, there was another space in the house, and there were countless origin weapons placed in it. All of them were origin weapons of the creation realm. Everyone can only choose one origin weapon, otherwise you will be killed. The low voice sounded again. This time, Murong Yu and the others were used to it and were not frightened. After a hurried glance, Murong Yu and the others didn't stay, but entered the elixir storehouse at the side. Similarly, the voice also appeared. Only one bottle of elixirs could be taken out of here, otherwise they would be killed. However, the elixirs could be taken in the main hall without restriction. The book collection pavilion was even more exaggerated. They could only be read in the main hall and couldn't be taken out, otherwise they would be killed. Of course, the other party didn't emphasize that they couldn't be copied. In general, although there were many treasures here, there weren't many that could be taken away. Moreover, they were all treasures of the creation realm. However, the treasures contained in this small palace were basically incomparable to those of a small family like the Dongfang family. It was at least 100 million times more than what the Dongfang family had, or even more. Even if all the treasures in the entire solar system were put together, it wouldn't be 1/10 of what this palace had. That was terrifying. That rising sun was not just a little terrifying. This is only the outermost area. If I'm not wrong, the deeper areas should be at the insight realm. The treasures there should be at the insight realm. Although we can only take one out, those elixirs can help us quickly improve our strength and break through to a higher realm faster. Dongfang Lang said excitedly. However, when can we break through to the insight realm? Moreover, we can't always be here. Once we leave, how can we come back in the future? Even if there are more treasures here, it's useless if we can't come back, Dongfang Yuan said with a frown. Dongfang Lang and the others immediately frowned. Dongfang Yuan was telling the truth. Murong Yu didn't care about their worries. With his ability, he could come here at any time. However, he suddenly thought of a problem. Why did the various settings of Rising Sun seem to be training disciples? Could it be that he was selecting disciples of inheritance? After all, the treasures here were huge, but they weren't allowed to take them out. In other words, Rising Sun was giving many people a chance. If they could take them away, then as long as one person came in, that person would find a way to plunder all these treasures. It was because of this that Murong Yu had this idea in his mind. If it was really selecting disciples of inheritance, if it were anyone else, they would have been ecstatic. However, after Murong Yu had experienced so many disciples of inheritance, that he didn't quite believe it. However, no matter what, he had to get the benefits here. Moreover, the other party's realm must be very high. Even if it was just a fake training of disciples of inheritance, they would definitely not make a move. Alright, let's seize this opportunity to quickly improve our strength and then leave this place. I'm guessing that it won't be long before the other 9 forces make a move on our Dongfang family. Murong Yu waved his hand and said, "We can leave this place?" Dongfang Lang and the others were excited, extremely excited. "My lord, after we leave this place, can we still come back?" Dongfang Yuan asked cautiously. Murong Yu smiled faintly. "Of course, no problem. Alright, everyone, quickly go and cultivate." As he spoke, Murong Yu had already burrowed into a room in the main hall that stored origin crystals. There were as many origin crystals as there were grains of sand in the Ganges. Unfortunately, these origin crystals couldn't be taken away. Otherwise, Murong Yu would have kept all of them in Hichu's expansion book. However, since they couldn't be taken away, they could be used here. Murong Yu could use them to break through his realm. Chapter 1992. After Murong Yu entered the Origin Crystal Vault, he sat cross-legged in the middle of the origin crystals that were as big as a mountain. The origin chi of heaven and earth in the Xingyang Dao Mansion was very rich, and the origin chi of heaven and earth in the entire vault was almost materialized due to the unintentional energy emitted by the origin crystals. If it were an ordinary person, their cultivation level would have been raised. Even Murong Yu could feel his strength increasing by a tiny bit within a breath's time. He had no choice, his appetite was too big. However, if Murong Yu cultivated here, he would only need 1/10 or even 1/100th of the time to break through to the next cultivation level, even if he did not refine the origin crystals. One could imagine how rich the origin chi of heaven and earth was. Moreover, Murong Yu realized that the origin crystals here were all middle-grade origin crystals. Origin crystals were divided into 5 grades: low grade, middle grade, upper grade, supreme grade, and supreme grade. The origin crystals that Murong Yu had obtained previously, including those from the Lin clan's 3rd Shaolin, were mostly low-grade origin crystals. There were a few middle-grade origin crystals. According to Murong Yu's estimation, the difference between low-grade origin crystals and middle-grade origin crystals was at least 100 times. That was very terrifying. Therefore, the higher the grade, the lesser the origin crystals. However, the number of middle-grade origin crystals here was like the sand in the Ganges River. This was only the outermost layer of the Xingyang Dao Mansion. What about the deeper layers? Would there be upper-grade, supreme-grade, and supreme-grade origin crystals? These thoughts only flitted through Murong Yu's mind for a brief moment. Soon, he adjusted his state of mind. He opened his mouth wide and took a deep breath. Walala, numerous fist-sized mid-grade origin crystals turned into torrents of origin crystals, crazily surging into his body. Then, they were transferred into the chaos furnace. At this moment, the chaos furnace began to tremble violently. An indescribable power kept appearing out of thin air, shattering one mid-grade origin crystal after another. Streams of pure energy gushed out of the primal chaos furnace like a flood and poured into Murong Yu's body. Immediately, Murong Yu's strength increased at a speed visible to the naked eye. Originally, Murong Yu had already reached Bright World Realm Level 3. After devouring a large number of mid-grade origin crystals, his realm quickly reached the peak of Bright World Realm Level 3. Not long after, his body shook violently, and he broke through again. He had reached the 4th level of the Bright World Realm. While Murong Yu was cultivating, on the other side of the crystal warehouse, Dongfang Lang and the others were also cultivating. However, they didn't have something as heaven-defying as the furnace of primal chaos, so they weren't as monstrous as Murong Yu. However, the dense and high-grade origin artifacts here were extremely effective even to half-step Nether Enlightenment Realm experts. Therefore, the strength of Dongfang Lang and the others also increased at a terrifying speed. Dongfang Lang was a little better. He was already at the 9th stage of the creation realm. At this stage, it was already very difficult to break through. Therefore, his improvement was not very obvious. However, it was very obvious for Dongfang Yuan and the other level 8 elders. After Morong Yu broke through, they also broke through one after another and all rushed into the 9th stage of the creation realm. Under normal circumstances, only 2 or 3 level 8 elders and controllers would be present at the exchange of the top 10 forces this time. However, because of the exploration of the Lai Guang secret realm, all the level 8 elders of the Dongfang family came. Moreover, in the Lai Guang secret realm, the Dongfang family was very careful, so no level 8 elders died. In other words, now 18 level 8 elders had successfully broken through and become level 9 elders. In the solar system, apart from the Sun sect and the Sun sect, the Dongfang family was the first force to have 19 level 9 creation realm experts. They were definitely the third strongest force in the solar system. With this strength, even if the 9 major forces such as the Thunder Valley joined forces, they were no match for the Dongfang family. However, even so, the gap between the Dongfang family, the Sun sect, and the Lunar sect was still a little big. Dongfang Yuan and the others were also clearly aware of this. Therefore, they didn't immediately stop cultivating after breaking through. Instead, they continued to cultivate. Time passed, and everyone's realm was increasing. At this moment, in the Flying Wolf Star. The Flying Wolf Star was the headquarters of the Dongfang family, one of the top 10 forces. Usually, it was very lively and bustling with people coming and going. It was extremely prosperous. However, today, the Flying Wolf Star was in a mess. From afar, the entire Flying Wolf Star was surrounded by a huge white shield. Inside the shield, the disciples of the Dongfang family looked outside nervously, their eyes were filled with hatred, and their faces were filled with despair. Outside the Flying Wolf Star, countless experts were sneering at the Flying Wolf Star. Brats of the Dongfang family, your family leader and all the level 8 elders have fallen. If you don't surrender now, when will you? A man walked out from the crowd and sneered at the Flying Wolf Star. Bullsh *T. How can you shameless people kill our family leader and level 8 elders? A disciple of the Dongfang family roared. That's right, why don't you look in the mirror? Trash from the 8 forces. You're only fit to attack the Dongfang family when our family leader and level 8 elders aren't around. Once our family leader returns, it'll be your doomsday, another disciple of the Dongfang family said hatefully. If it weren't for the fact that they knew they were no match for the 9 forces outside, they would have rushed out and fought. That's right, the 9 forces were attacking them outside. Back then, after leaving the Lai Guang secret realm, the 9 forces immediately sent troops to the Sirius Star. They started attacking the Dongfang family's outer sphere of influence. Under the combined forces of the 9 forces, they had already attacked the Dongfang family's headquarters, the Flying Wolf Star, in half a year. However, the Flying Wolf Star was the headquarters of the Dongfang family that had inherited countless reincarnation gold. How could it be so easy to break through? After the Astral Guardian formation was activated, even the 9 forces couldn't break through it in a short period of time. However, although the Astral Guardian formation of the Flying Wolf Star wasn't broken, the disciples of the Dongfang family inside didn't have it easy. When the Dongfang family was attacked, many disciples of the Dongfang family had secretly returned to the Sirius Star. Therefore, there were many times more people on the Sirius Star than usual. The more people there were, the more resources they would need. Moreover, many of them were injured. As a result, a lot of the Dongfang family's resources were consumed. In addition, the Astral Guardian formation also needed crystals to provide energy. These resources weren't replenished, so the people of the Dongfang family were just living off their savings. However, there was a limit to their savings, and they couldn't hold on for too long. Elder, when will the Patriarch and the others return? A level 6 elder asked a level 7 elder. Dongfang Lang wasn't in the Dongfang family, and the level 8 elders weren't there either. Naturally, the ones who carried the banner were the 7th rank elders. After being asked, the level 7 elder also shook his head. The reason why they were sure that Dongfang Lang and the others weren't dead was that their soul jade slips hadn't shattered yet. However, that only told them that Dongfang Lang and the others weren't dead. However, it didn't tell them where Dongfang Lang was and what he was doing now. It also didn't tell them when Dongfang Lang and the others would return. Don't worry, the patriarch and the others will definitely return. Perhaps he felt that he was too pessimistic, so the level 7 elder added another sentence. However, he also knew that even if Dongfang Lang and the others returned, so what? With their strength, they weren't a match for the other families at all. He couldn't understand why the 9 forces would join forces to attack the Dongfang family. Did the Dongfang family offend them? Let's do it. I'd like to see how many crystals the Dongfang family has and how long they can keep this astral protection array running, Ai Feiqi said faintly. Then, the Thunderclap Valley began to attack. Suddenly, waves of power poured toward the Flying Wolf Star like stormy waves. At the same time, the other 8 forces also began to attack. The astral protection array of the Flying Wolf Star was undoubtedly powerful. It only trembled violently after resisting the attacks of all the powerhouses from the 8 forces. Under the protection of the array, the people of the Dongfang family weren't hurt at all. However, the high-level elders of the Dongfang family looked extremely gloomy. This was because every round of attack by the 9 forces consumed a lot of the Dongfang family's resources. If this continued, the Dongfang family wouldn't be able to hold on for long even if they exhausted everything. At most, they would only be able to hold on for 10 days. After 10 days, if Dongfang Lang and the others didn't return, the Dongfang family might never exist. Even if Dongfang Lang and the others returned, they wouldn't be able to turn the tables. As time passed, the Dongfang family's resources became less and less. On the 9th day, the Dongfang family's resources were basically exhausted. A few days ago, in order to reduce the consumption of resources, the Dongfang family had already shrunk the astral protection array and only covered the surface of the Flying Wolf Star. If this continued, their astral protection array would continue to shrink and eventually only protect the core area of the Dongfang family and the core disciples of the Dongfang family. Even so, the outcome wasn't optimistic. Perhaps because of the impending disaster, the disciples of the Dongfang family gritted their teeth and rushed forward. They didn't risk their lives to fight against the 9 forces. Instead, they frantically poured their energy into the astral protection array and forcibly operated it. Fight against the people of the 8 forces? Everyone in the Dongfang family had this idea. However, no one put it into practice. This was because the difference in strength between the 2 sides was too great. The most powerful person in the Dongfang family was only a 7th-level elder, while the 9 forces had a large group of 8th-level elders and even 9 old monsters of the 9th level of the creation realm. With the current strength of the Dongfang family, they would probably be blasted into pieces before they could rush out. Therefore, no one rushed out to fight. They only defended with all their might. However, it was precisely because everyone directly poured their energy into the array that every time the array was attacked, they also suffered a certain amount of damage. Therefore, more and more people in the Dongfang family were seriously injured. However, after these people were injured, they quietly retreated, and naturally, others took their place. Under the stimulation of this life and death crisis, the people of the Dongfang family were united like never before. There were no more scheming from before. There was only one common goal: to protect the family together. Chapter 1993. The Level 7 Elders were pleased to see the unprecedented unity of the Dongfang family. However, the entire Dongfang family was trapped in the Flying Wolf Star. The extinction of the Dongfang family was only a matter of time. Elder, we can't hold on any longer. We've used up all our crystals. With our strength, we can only hold on for 2 hours at most. After 2 hours, the Astral Guardian array will collapse and the Dongfang family will be exterminated. A level 6 elder hurriedly walked over and said, "Gather all the core disciples of the younger generation. We can't let the family be exterminated. We have to send them out." A level 7 elder said in a deep voice. Every force had a secret teleportation formation that led to the outside world. The Dongfang family naturally didn't lack such teleportation formations. However, only a small number of people knew about this teleportation formation. Only level 7 elders had the right to know about it. Therefore, these level 7 elders still kept some of their crystals to activate the formation. Soon, all the core disciples of the younger generation were gathered. These people knew what was going on, so no one said anything. The others didn't say anything either. Instead, they poured all their energy into the Astral Guardian array. They all knew that these core disciples were the last hope of the Dongfang family. As long as they survived, they would avenge them and exterminate the 9 forces one day. If they joined in, no one in the Dongfang family would be able to escape. At this moment, it was less than an hour before the Astral Guardian array collapsed. At this moment, many of the Dongfang family's disciples were severely injured. Some of them had even started to die. "Hurry up and leave!" A level 7 elder of the Dongfang family shouted angrily. One of the level 7 elders led the group towards the teleportation formation. It would be too late if they didn't leave now. Boom! However, before they could get close to the teleportation formation, a terrifying force suddenly bombarded the Astral Guardian array. Boom! 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 The Astral Guardian array shook violently and emitted a blinding light. Then, the sound of cloth being torn was heard. Then, with a boom, the entire Astral Guardian array shattered. Boom! 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 With the sudden collapse of the Astral Guardian array, countless disciples of the Dongfang family were directly shattered. In just an instant, 1,000th of the Dongfang family's disciples were shattered. Among them, there were even some who were elders. "None of you can leave." Ai Feiqi appeared out of thin air in front of the core disciples of the Dongfang family, and said coldly. At the same time, Tyrant Shock Hall's Hall Master and the others also appeared. It was obvious that these 9 ninth-level Creation Realm experts had attacked together and destroyed the Astral Protection array that could last for an hour. "It's over." Seeing them enter, everyone from the Dongfang family could not help but feel despair in their hearts. Facing these powerful existences, how could they resist? Immediately, those rank 7 elders could not help but feel regret. They regretted not sending the core disciples of the younger generation away earlier. Now, none of them could leave. "You guys really deserve to die. Have you used up all of your crystals?" The Yu Clan's clan master said with a gloomy face. His eyes flashed with terrifying killing intent as he looked at the Dongfang family disciple. "Haha, it's not just the crystals. Don't even think about getting any of the elixirs, weapons, and treasures. As long as our clan master returns, all of you will die." One of the rank 7 elders laughed out loud. However, his laughter stopped abruptly. Because Ai Feiqi was choking him by the neck, he couldn't even laugh. "Put him down. Otherwise, you will definitely die." At this moment, a bone-chilling voice suddenly rang in Ai Feiqi and the rest's ears, causing them to shiver. At the same time, 20 figures appeared in the crowd out of thin air. Hearing the bone-chilling voice, Ai Feiqi's heart skipped a beat and he almost let go of the Dongfang family disciple in his hand. However, he was a 9th-level Creation Realm expert after all. How could he let go just because of a voice? Therefore, he did not let go. Instead, he followed the voice and looked at the familiar voice. "Dongfang Lang, you're not dead?" When he saw the person who had spoken, Ai Feiqi's hand trembled, and he almost crushed the rank 7 elder of the Dongfang family. Dongfang Lang took a step forward with an indifferent expression. His eyes were filled with murderous intent as he stared at Ai Feiqi. "Ai Feiqi, You didn't expect this, did you? Back then, your palm had sent me into the turbulent space, but I didn't die. I'm back now and my power has greatly increased. Are all of you disappointed? AI Feiqi, the hall master of Ba Jing Hall, and the rest narrowed their eyes. If Dongfang Lang had not mentioned it, they would not have noticed it. Now that they took a look at Dongfang Lang, they realized that they could no longer see through his power. At the same time, even though Dongfang Lang did not release his aura, a strong and faintly discernible aura of danger was constantly emitted from Dongfang Lang's body. It suppressed their souls and caused them to tremble. Dongfang Lang had broken through and he was at least at the half-step insight realm. Everyone was greatly shocked. Then, they all looked at AI Feiqi with displeased gazes. If it was not for this fellow's palm, Dongfang Lang would not have broken through like them. Now that the other party was a small realm higher than them, he could easily defeat them. AI Feiqi was extremely depressed. He originally wanted to kill Dongfang Lang, but he did not expect that it would be him instead. This made him want to slap Dongfang Lang to death. Back in the Lai Guang secret realm, he had encountered a half-step insight realm existence. Therefore, he was more aware of the terror of a half-step insight realm expert than the hall master of Ba Jing Hall and the rest. Boom! Dongfang Lang suddenly moved. Everyone only saw a black shadow flash in front of them. Before they could react, a loud, dull sound was heard. Then, a huge black shadow flew out into the sky. It was not until this moment that everyone reacted. At this moment, Dongfang Lang was standing where AI Feiqi was originally standing. In front of Dongfang Lang was the 7th-level elder of the Dongfang family with a dull expression. As for AI Feiqi, he was the one who had just flown out. No one present could clearly see how Dongfang Lang attacked. Only AI Feiqi knew very well. Dongfang Lang had actually punched him in the head. The most abominable thing was that he did not explode his head with a punch. Instead, he only sent him flying and at the same time, his facial features were smashed. Dongfang Lang, you're courting death. AI Feiqi roared and rushed forward. During this process, he had already taken out his origin tool and unleashed his strongest attack towards Dongfang Lang. Dongfang Lang smiled disdainfully and punched out again. With a bang, AI Feiqi was once again sent flying like a sandbag. In front of Dongfang Lang, he was simply unable to withstand a single blow. Impossible! How can you be so powerful? You're so much stronger than that person? AI Feiqi was about to collapse. Logically speaking, even if Dongfang Lang had broken through to the insight realm, it was impossible for him to be so powerful. Dongfang Lang's current strength had definitely surpassed Lin Zai's. Although AI Feiqi did not know Lin Zai's identity, he could guess that Lin Zai must be an outstanding disciple of a super force. An outstanding disciple of such a force must have far more resources than Dongfang Lang. Logically speaking, it was impossible for Dongfang Lang, who had just broken through to the half-step insight realm, to be stronger than Lin Zai. Dongfang Lang grinned and said, "Speaking of which, it's all thanks to you. I have to thank you for my current achievements. If it wasn't for your palm, I would still be just like you, a clown." Dongfang Lang laughed out loud. Indeed, he had to thank AI Feiqi for everything he had. If it wasn't for AI Feiqi, how could they appear in the Rising Sun Dao Mansion? During this period of time in the Rising Sun Dao Mansion, Dongfang Yuan and the others' strength had increased to the peak of the 9th level of the creation realm. They were only one step away from breaking through to the half-step insight realm. On the other hand, Dongfang Lang naturally broke through to the half-step insight realm. Originally, even if Dongfang Lang had broken through, he would not have such powerful combat strength. However, who was the Rising Sun Dao Mansion? In the following time, Dongfang Lang and the others cultivated some cultivation methods and combat skills that were suitable for them. The cultivation methods and combat skills of the Rising Sun Dao Mansion were the best. Even a colossus like the Sun sect could not compare to them. Moreover, because of Hichu Luoshu's time acceleration, they had already consolidated their realms and cultivated their cultivation method. Their strength had skyrocketed. Even if Lin Zhe was an outstanding disciple who was specially nurtured by a colossus. However, could the Lin family be compared to the rising Sun Dao mansion? Therefore, after Dongfang Lang had succeeded in his cultivation, his strength had already surpassed Lin Zhe. Although Lin Zhe was powerful, he did not manage to kill Ai Feiqi and let him escape. However, with Dongfang Yuan's strength, which far surpassed Lin Zhe's, Ai Feiqi was simply a punching bag who could not withstand a single blow. I've said that if you don't let go, you will definitely die. Therefore, you can die now. Dongfang Lang said indifferently and took a step forward. Boom. Without any hesitation, Ai Feiqi was sent flying with a punch. This time, Dongfang Lang increased his strength and directly shattered Ai Feiqi's flesh, blood, bones, and meridians. Dongfang Lang, that's enough. Just as Dongfang Lang was about to attack, the Hall Master of Ba Jing Hall suddenly shouted and took a step forward, looking at Dongfang Lang coldly. At the same time, the Hall Masters of the other 7 forces also took a step forward with murderous intent and looked at Dongfang Lang with murderous intent. Now, they were in cahoots with Ai Feiqi and were unwilling to see Dongfang Lang's strength. Therefore, they had to advance and retreat together. Boom! Dongfang Lang's punch landed on Ai Feiqi's body without any hesitation, beating him half to death. He then looked at the Hall Master of Ba Jing Hall and the others with a disdainful smile. Who do you think you are? Do you have the right to talk to me? Are you worthy? Seeing the strong disdain on Dongfang Lang's face, the Hall Master of Ba Jing Hall and the others were furious. However, Dongfang Lang was now stronger than them and indeed had the right to despise them. Chapter 1994. Dongfang Lang, even if you're a half-step insight powerhouse, you're indeed stronger than us. But can you withstand our combined attack? If you don't want the Dongfang family to suffer a disaster because of this, I think we should just forget about this matter, the Sun Flame cult leader said in a deep voice. You dare to threaten me? Dongfang Lang glanced at him disdainfully, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. This guy's meaning was very clear. Even if they were no match for Dongfang Lang, they could at least kill all the people of the Dongfang family. Using the lives of everyone in the family to threaten a patriarch was the most effective way. Unless Dongfang Lang didn't care about his family members at all. However, a dignified 9th-level creation realm powerhouse actually used such a shameless method to threaten Dongfang Lang. It was really despicable. The other 8 leaders didn't say anything, because although this method was a bit shameless, it was the best way to deal with this crisis to deal with Dongfang Lang. I hate people threatening me the most in my life. Also, do you think you can threaten me? Dongfang Lang smiled contemptuously. He was a half-step insight powerhouse, while Dongfang Yuan and the other 18 9th-level creation realm elders had reached the peak of 9th-level creation realm. Everyone cultivated the Rising Sun cultivation method, so their combat power was much stronger than the people of the solar system who were at the peak of 9th-level creation realm. Even if Dongfang Lang didn't say anything, they could still kill Ai Feiqi and the others. However, according to Morongyu, they didn't reveal their strength. Of course, if necessary, they didn't need to continue to be mysterious. Seeing that Dongfang Lang didn't make a move, Morongyu couldn't help but frown and immediately transmitted his voice. Forget it, Dongfang Lang. Let's get rid of them quickly before something unexpected happens. Dongfang Lang nodded slightly and immediately attacked again. Boom. The Sun Flame cult leader didn't even have time to react. Half of his face was smashed by Dongfang Lang's punch, and he was blasted away. Kill. At the same time, the leaders of the other 8 forces roared at the same time and unleashed their strongest attacks toward Dongfang Lang. Dongfang Lang's face was a little dignified. He was indeed stronger than these people. However, the combined power of these people was also very terrifying. Thus, he grabbed at the air with his hand. In the next moment, a long sword that emitted a terrifying aura appeared in his hand. This was a Netherworld Insight Realm origin artifact. Although it was not obtained from the Rising Sundow Palace, it was still obtained from the Lai Guang Secret Realm, and its power was extremely terrifying. With Dongfang Lang's half-step Nether Insight strength, he was already able to utilize a portion of this origin artifact's might. Whoosh! An arc of sword light appeared out of thin air as he slashed out with his sword, slashing at the forces of the 8 powerhouses. Rumble! After an earth-shattering explosion, the huge sword light and the power of the 8 powerhouses simultaneously shattered between heaven and earth. However, the 8 powerhouses were indeed sent flying by the overflowing shockwave. Their blood and chi churned, and blood flowed from the corners of their mouth. On the other hand, Dongfang Lang was still standing in the same place. His figure did not even sway. The gap between the two sides was obvious. Whoosh! 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 Dongfang Lang's attack did not stop. Instead, he slashed out 10 times in succession. 10 sword rays containing terrifying power locked onto Ai Feiqi and the others and swiftly slashed towards them. Wherever they passed, the void was shattered. Ai Feiqi and the others' faces changed drastically. This was a full-force slash from Dongfang Lang, a half-step Nether Insight expert, with the help of a Nether Insight origin artifact. If they could not withstand it, they would definitely die. Escape? There was no time for that. Therefore, everyone roared angrily and raised their strength to the limit again. The trump cards that they usually hid were also unleashed. All kinds of powerful defensive origin artifacts, including forbidden artifacts, were summoned by them to protect themselves. However, there was one person among the 9 who was very special. He only summoned a creation origin artifact and did not have any other trump card. He was Ai Feiqi. The others, including Dongfang Lang, did not know what was going on. Did Ai Feiqi think that he could withstand Dongfang Lang's attack? Murong Yu was the only one who knew. He had probably used up all his trump cards when he was being chased by Lin Zhe. Otherwise, he would not have been able to escape. It had only been half a year since they left the Lai Guang Secret Realm. Ai Feiqi did not have time to look for more trump cards. Boom! 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 Almost at the same time, 10 terrifying sword rays blasted forward. At that moment, the 9-peak Creation Realm experts unleashed their strongest attacks to resist Dongfang Lang's attack. However, Dongfang Lang's strength far surpassed Lin Zhe's strength. His strength was truly terrifying. The various defensive measures that everyone had set up in advance were immediately shattered. There was a shrill cry. Everyone looked in the direction of the sound and saw that Ai Feiqi had been split into 2 by Dongfang Lang's sword ray. Regardless of whether it was the members of the Dongfang clan or the other forces, they could not help but observe a moment of silence for him when they saw this. How could a supreme existence at the 9th level of the Creation Realm be killed just like that? As for the disciples of the Thunderclap Valley, they were so scared that they wet their pants. All of them looked over in disbelief. Murong Yu shook his head. Ai Feiqi had been killed. Not only had the sword slashed him into 2, but it had also shattered his soul. He was really unlucky. On the other side, although the experts from the 8 great forces had exhausted all their means, they had indeed blocked Dongfang Lang's attack. However, all of their trump cards had been destroyed. Moreover, all of them were spitting out blood from their mouths and looked dispirited. It was obvious that they had suffered heavy injuries. When they saw that Ai Feiqi had been killed, they could not help but grieve for him. This was because they could sense that they might be the next to die. At that moment, they could not help but feel a little regretful. Capture the core disciples or 8th-level elders of the Dongfang clan to threaten Dongfang Lang. The palace master of the tyrannical palace roared and took the lead to attack. He locked onto Dongfang Yuan and charged forward. The other 7 people attacked as well. Dongfang Lang had a look of disdain on his face as he waved the longsword in his hand repeatedly. Instantly, several sword rays appeared again and slashed toward them at lightning speed, forcing the palace master of the tyrannical palace and the others to quickly defend themselves. At the same time, Dongfang Yuan and the others attacked as well. Of course, their targets were not the palace master of the tyrannical palace and the others, but the disciples of the 9 great forces. These people were the senior elders and senior disciples of the various great forces. Since they were going to kill their masters, these people could not be left alive. Otherwise, would they be left alive to seek revenge after they had grown stronger? Bang! 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 18 peak 9th level creation realm powerhouses entered the crowd of the 9 great forces and began their massacre. Dongfang Yuan threw out a punch. After a loud bang, at least 80% of the tyrannical palace's disciples were turned into dust by his punch. The palace master of the tyrannical palace was furious. However, the palace master of the tyrannical palace could not escape at all. He could not even protect himself. Dongfang Yuan attacked again and threw out a punch. Great, now the world was peaceful. All the disciples of the tyrannical palace who came along, including the 7th level elders, were killed by Dongfang Yuan's 2 punches. At the same time, the other 18 elders had almost killed all the remaining disciples of the 8 great forces. Dongfang Lang, you've gone against the law. The Sun sect will never let you go. The palace master of the tyrannical palace roared before he was killed by Dongfang Lang's sword. At this moment, the Wang clan, Yu clan, and the other masters wanted to escape. However, Dongfang Lang would not give them the chance to do so. After a series of attacks, all of them were killed. At this point, 9 out of the 10 great forces had been eliminated. From today onwards, the Dongfang clan would be the sole ruler of the universe that the 10 great forces controlled together. The Dongfang clan had also become the 3rd great force in the solar system after the Sun sect and the Lunar sect. Although there was still a considerable gap between their strength and the other 2 great forces, they were already strong enough. Moreover, with the existence of the Rising Sun sect, it was only a matter of time before the Dongfang clan caught up. Of course, the Dongfang clan might not have that ability anymore. This was because by then, Morong-yu had already controlled the entire solar system and became the ruler of the solar system. The Dongfang clan was already on the verge of extinction, but Dongfang Lang returned at the critical moment and killed the 9 great forces including the Thunder Valley, turning defeat into victory. Since then, Dongfang Lang had become even stronger in the eyes of the Dongfang clan. In the following time, Dongfang Lang gathered the strength of the Dongfang clan and began to fight. Although the masters and some of the high-level elders of the great forces had been killed, there were still some stubborn people in each force. Dongfang Lang had to eliminate them. Only then would the Dongfang clan be able to truly unify this universe. Of course, Morong-yu did not interfere in all this. Dongfang Lang and the others would naturally do these things well. Morong-yu entered the Purple Sun Grotto Heaven. There was a cave abode in the Purple Sun Grotto Heaven, where Zhao Jiqing, the 5 girls, and Dongfang Haoren were all cultivating. At this time, Dongfang Haoren had already reached the Bright World Realm level 7, and his speed was far faster than Morong-yu's. Of course, in terms of real combat strength, he was far inferior to Morong-yu. Zhao Jiqing and the others had also broken through, and the weakest was at the Chaotic World Realm level 9. As for Zhao Jiqing, she had already reached the Bright World Realm. Although the Heaven-Earth origin chi in the Purple Sun Grotto Heaven was not bad, it was still far from the cave abode. Originally, Morong-yu could have transferred Zhao Jiqing and the others to the Rising Sun sect, but Morong-yu did have some concerns and did not transfer them in the end. In fact, at this time, Morong-yu had already gained a firm foothold in the endless starry sky. According to the previous practice, Shenzhen's people could enter the endless starry sky. However, if the people of the Holy World wanted to enter the endless starry sky, they had to break through reincarnation. And they had to rely on themselves to break through reincarnation. Even Morong-yu could not help them. At this time, there were only a few people who had broken through reincarnation in the Holy World. Other than Morong-yu, Zhao Jiqing, and a few other people, there was Morong-yu's clone, Morong the Dragon. Not long ago, Morong the Dragon had successfully broken through reincarnation and appeared in the solar system. Moreover, he had joined the Sun sect. Chapter 1995. Morong the Dragon didn't enter the Sun sect through the selection process. Instead, he became the disciple of an 8th-level elder. Because of this, his status far surpassed Morong-yu's when he joined the Solar sect. Furthermore, because Morong Long had been cultivating the Sun Sutra all this time, although his strength was still inferior to Morong-yu's, he was still much stronger than those of the same realm. Of course, since the beginning, Morong-yu didn't have much contact with his clone. Instead, he let the clone develop on its own. Therefore, there weren't many people who knew that Morong-yu had a clone. Morong-yu didn't need to announce it either. Moreover, Morong the Dragon joining the Sun sect would only benefit him. At the very least, Morong-yu hadn't returned to the Sun sect yet, so he knew what was happening there. Because Morong the Dragon was the disciple of an 8th-level elder, he knew a lot more than Morong-yu. Li Jiang hadn't come out yet, but his people were still looking for Morong-yu. At this point, they were almost certain that Morong-yu killed Li Nan. Although they didn't have any evidence, did they need evidence? At this time, Li Jiang's people were looking for Morong-yu in the solar system. However, Morong-yu seemed to have disappeared into thin air, disappearing without a trace. As for Morong-yu, the people from the Sun sect hadn't suspected him of being the culprit yet. This was because there were too many people named Morong-yu in the solar system. Although the Sun sect was the ruler of the solar system, Li Jiang didn't dare to capture everyone named Morong-yu. After all, Li Jiang was only an 8th-level elder of the Sun sect. What's more, Li Jiang hadn't come out yet. However, once Li Jiang came out, wouldn't he kill the wrong person? Morong-yu didn't care about this. No matter how strong Li Jiang was, he was only an 8th-level elder. As long as he wanted, Morong-yu could kill him at any time. In the following time, Dongfang Lang worked hard to unify the world. Morong-yu accompanied Zhao Jiqing and the others in the Purple Sun Grotto. Occasionally, he would give pointers to the sad child Dongfang Haoran. This was because the leaders and most of the senior and core disciples were killed. Forces like the Thunder Valley and the Hall of Shock didn't have any power to resist. They were wiped out by the Dongfang family and finally unified the world. Of course, even after unifying the world, the Dongfang family's territory only covered about 10% of the solar system, close to 20% of the starry sky. However, it was already the third largest force. All of this was all because of Morong-yu. If there was no Morong-yu, Dongfang Lang wouldn't be able to unify the universe in this lifetime. Therefore, at this time, Dongfang Lang was sincerely convinced by Morong-yu. Even if Morong-yu no longer controlled his soul, he wouldn't betray Morong-yu. Instead, he would be loyal. This was because of the rising Sun Dao Palace and Morong-yu's terrifying potential. Dongfang Lang knew that Morong-yu's future achievements would definitely reach heights that he couldn't imagine. It's time to go back. The Dongfang family had already unified the starry sky. With the strength of Dongfang Lang and the others, no one could shake the Dongfang family's rule except for the Sun sect and the Lunar sect. Therefore, he didn't need to continue staying here. He needed to go back to the Sun sect. If he wanted to become the sovereign of the solar system, he had to start by unifying the Sun sect. Morong-yu needed to fight his way up step by step and subdue the disciples of the Sun sect. Otherwise, even if he became a disciple of the Sun sect, the disciples under him wouldn't be convinced and it wouldn't be beneficial for him to unify the solar system. Because of his clone, Murong Yu knew that only Li Jiang's faction of the Sun Sect was dealing with him now. The people of the other factions didn't care at all. After all, Murong Yu was just an outer sect disciple. No one would fall out with Li Jiang because of him. However, if Murong Yu could display enough potential and strength, a large number of experts would come to his aid. The Dongfang family and the Sun Sect were extremely far away. Therefore, Murong Yu directly teleported back. However, he only teleported to the origin planet near the Sun Star and then swaggered back to the Sun Sect. At this time, Murong Yu had already returned to his original appearance. Therefore, Li Jiang's people noticed him immediately. When Murong Yu returned to the gate of the Sun Sect, Li Jiang's people were already waiting for him. There were more than a dozen people in the line, all of them at the peak of the Bright World realm. At this time, these people were lined up in a row, coldly looking at Murong Yu. Murong Yu glanced at them and already knew what they meant. However, he couldn't be bothered. He was also a little speechless. Since those people knew that he could kill Li Nan, wouldn't they be courting death by sending these Bright World realm disciples? What Murong Yu didn't know was that although Li Jiang's people thought that Li Nan was killed by Murong Yu, they didn't think that Li Nan was killed by Murong Yu. However, no one thought that Murong Yu had the strength to do so. They all agreed that Murong Yu had used despicable means to kill Li Nan. Back then, Murong Yu had indeed killed Li Nan. In fact, in the beginning, they suspected that someone was secretly helping Murong Yu. However, after many years, after their investigation, they had already denied the guess that there was someone behind Murong Yu. That was why they'd brazenly put out a bounty on Murong Yu. Murong Yu, do you admit your crime? A man strode out and looked at Murong Yu with murderous intent. Why aren't you surrendering? Another man stepped out with a cold expression. Kneel. The third man stepped out from the crowd. Murong Yu sneered and threw out a punch. Boom, boom, boom. With a punch, more than a dozen fists suddenly appeared. These fists contained terrifying power, and before the other party and the others could react, they had already bombarded their bodies. Bang, bang, bang. Suddenly, these people were all sent flying, turning into a beautiful parabola in the void, and then fell to the ground. Murong Yu, you actually crippled me! A man exclaimed, his eyes full of resentment. Everyone else was also glaring at Murong Yu with incomparably venomous gazes. I'm already being merciful by not killing you. Murong Yu sneered, then took a step forward and entered the Sun Sect. Since he had decided to be high profile, he would start with Li Jiang and the others, and those dogs that blocked the way would bear the brunt and naturally be the first to suffer. Murong Yu directly crippled their cultivation, turning them into trash. If there were no special opportunities in the future, they would probably never be able to cultivate again. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people couldn't help but gasp. Murong Yu was really too cruel. Crippling a person was more cruel than killing them. This was strictly forbidden in the Sun Sect. However, Murong Yu had openly and brazenly crippled those people. Now, there was going to be a good show to watch. Chapter 1996. When he was in the Rising Sun Dao Mansion, the slaves, Dongfang Lang, Dongfang Yuan, and the others had all broken through one after another. As the master, Murong Yu naturally did not fall behind. In fact, he had broken through the most in terms of realm. He had directly broken through from the Bright World Realm Level 3 to the peak of the Bright World Realm Level 5. His strength had undergone an earth-shattering change compared to before. However, Murong Yu was still not satisfied. Originally, he'd planned to make use of the conditions of the Rising Sun Dao Mansion to reach the half-step Nether Insight Realm in one go. Then, he would refine the Star Core and reach the Creation Realm in one fell swoop. As long as he reached the Creation Realm, with Murong Yu's heaven-defying strength, he would definitely be invincible in the solar system. However, dreams were always plentiful, while reality was always very thin. When his realm reached the peak of the Bright World Realm level 5, it was a tragedy for him. In fact, it was not a tragedy. After all, his realm had always improved, and his strength had also skyrocketed. This was not considered a tragedy, right? It was a tragedy because Murong Yu's realm could not continue to improve. Why was that? It was not because the vitality of heaven and earth in the Rising Sun Dao Mansion was gone, nor was it because the mountains of crystals had been exhausted. It was because, as Murong Yu's realm improved, his appetite became bigger and bigger, and he became more and more picky. The power of mid-grade crystals was no longer enough for the current Murong Yu. If the power was too low, no matter how much power there was, it would not be able to improve Murong Yu's realm. Therefore, Murong Yu's realm finally stagnated at the peak of the Bright World Realm level 5. If he continued to refine crystals to break through, he would need to refine high-grade crystals at the very least. He had to at least enter the second level. However, only Insight Realm powerhouses were qualified to enter the second level of the Rising Sun Dao Mansion. Murong Yu's biggest problem now was to break through to the Creation Realm first. Therefore, he left the Rising Sun Dao Mansion and returned to the Sun Sect. If he wanted to break through, he still needed to find those items that contained a huge amount of power. Refining crystals was not his cup of tea. After returning to the solar system, Murong Yu found that the cave abode he had occupied before he left had been occupied. Furthermore, they were Li Na's men. Without hesitation, Murong Yu issued a challenge. As for the other party, he accepted the challenge fearlessly. But in the end, he was beaten up by Murong Yu and chased away. However, what made this guy depressed was that after Murong Yu drove him away, he did not enter the cave residence. Instead, he quickly left and shot towards the higher part of the Sun Mountain. The previous cave abode was only a Bright World Realm level cave abode and was no longer suitable for the current Murong Yu. Therefore, he had to challenge a higher level cave abode to live in. Of course, apart from the fact that it wasn't suitable for living, Murong Yu also wanted to create as much news as possible. It would be best if it was earth-shattering news, so that the higher-ups of the Sun Sect would notice his existence. Therefore, Murong Yu directly rushed to the Elder-level cave residence. The first challenger was a first-rank elder who was at the first stage of the Blessed Realm. At this time, Murong Yu was facing a first-rank elder. This was an old man. When he saw Murong Yu, a little cultivator at the 5th stage of the Bright World Realm, come to challenge him, the first-rank elder's face turned green with anger. "This guy isn't deliberately insulting me, is he?" The old man's beard was twitching with anger. "Kid, make your move." The old man was also helpless. He didn't have time to check Murong Yu's realm before he accepted the challenge. After accepting the challenge, the competition couldn't be stopped unless one party admitted defeat. "Sorry." Murong Yu smiled embarrassedly, then punched out. A look of anger flashed across the old man's face, and he slapped out. He wanted to teach Murong Yu a lesson and let him know that there was a price to pay for messing around. However, as soon as the old man struck out with his palm, he saw an incomparably huge fist coming at him at lightning speed. It was getting bigger and bigger. The old man was shocked. Before he could react, he found that his face was suddenly smashed by a heavy object. A sharp pain came, and the old man suddenly felt the world spinning. Finally, he fell to the ground with a thump. He was defeated by Murong Yu with a single punch. Admit it. Murong Yu cupped his fist towards the old man, then his figure flashed and disappeared. When the old man reacted from the dizziness, he saw Murong Yu continue to climb up. The old man couldn't help but feel depressed. Is this guy going to challenge a higher-level elder? Otherwise, what does he mean by continuing to climb up? Murong Yu was indeed going to challenge. A first-rank elder's weight wasn't enough. But there was no other way. The rules of the Sun Sect were like this. If a Bright World Realm disciple wanted to challenge an elder, He had to first defeat a first-rank elder to prove that he had the ability to challenge an elder. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to challenge an elder of a higher rank. Otherwise, if those confident Bright World Realm experts kept challenging the high-ranking elders, or even the 8th rank and 9th rank elders, wouldn't those high-ranking elders not need to cultivate? In the Sun Sect, once a magic weapon challenge was issued, the challenged person couldn't refuse. They could delay the time of accepting the challenge, but they had to accept the challenge. However, as long as Morong Yu defeated a first-rank elder, he would have the qualifications to challenge all the low-ranking elders. The so-called low-ranking elders were the first-rank, second-rank, and third-rank elders of the creation realm. Therefore, this time, Morong Yu went straight to a third-rank elder. This third-rank elder had the same reaction as the first-rank elder. He wanted to teach Morong Yu a lesson, but in the end, he was knocked down by Morong Yu with a single punch. This made him very depressed. After defeating the third-rank elder, Morong Yu had the ability to challenge mid-ranking elders. This time, Morong Yu skipped the fourth-rank elder and directly challenged a fifth-rank elder. From challenging a first-rank elder to defeating him, then challenging a third-rank elder and defeating him, it took less than 2 hours. However, the news of Morong Yu repeatedly challenging and defeating powerful elders had already spread. At this moment, a large number of elders had gathered outside the cave abode of the fifth-rank elder that Morong Yu challenged. Most of them were low-ranking and mid-ranking elders. There were even some high-ranking elders who were secretly watching all of this. Many people were discussing Morong Yu. Some people admired Morong Yu and felt that this person was really heaven-defying. However, there were even more people who felt disdain for Morong Yu's actions. They felt that Morong Yu was just trying to please the crowd and attract the attention of the big shots in the church. In fact, they had guessed correctly. Morong Yu was indeed trying to attract attention. However, he didn't want to become a disciple of those big shots. He just hoped that he could be valued by the Solar Sect and then make Li Jiang restrain himself. After all, his cultivation level was still low, and he was not afraid of Li Jiang. Although he wasn't afraid of Li Jiang, if Li Jiang's people kept chasing him, would he still need to cultivate? The reason why Morong Yu wasn't afraid of Li Jiang or even Dark Insight Realm powerhouses was because he relied on his trump cards. However, those trump cards were limited. Every time he used them, he would have less of them, being able to defeat a third-rank elder with the strength of a fifth-rank Bright World Realm. Your strength and potential are not bad. However, if you want to use me to climb up, you are gravely mistaken. From the discussions of the surrounding people, the fifth-rank elder that Morong Yu challenged already knew about Morong Yu's deeds. Morong Yu grinned. Whether I am wrong or not, we will know soon. Elder, can we begin now? The fifth-rank elder frowned slightly. You go first. He was a fifth-rank elder and had his own dignity, so he definitely wouldn't make the first move. That would be too embarrassing. Morong Yu grinned and didn't hold back. He directly raised his fist and threw a punch. With Morong Yu's freakish strength, it was necessary for him to have a combat strength that exceeded a major realm. This was because after the punch, the fifth-rank elder's expression instantly changed. He felt that Morong Yu's combat strength wasn't inferior to his at all. It was as if he was fighting with a powerhouse of the same realm. The fifth-rank elder's expression suddenly became serious, and he stopped underestimating Morong Yu. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people's jaws dropped. Morong Yu was really too heaven-defying, right? He was only at the fifth-rank Bright World Realm, but he was locked in a fight with a fifth-rank elder and wasn't at a disadvantage? Not only was Morong Yu not at a disadvantage, but he also gave people a feeling that he was taking a stroll in the park. On the other hand, his opponent, the fifth-rank elder, had a serious expression as he threw out one move after another, waiting carefully. At the beginning of the fight, it seemed to be relatively easy. However, not long after, Morong Yu's moves became fiercer. As he attacked, his strength was extremely violent. The more it was so, the more serious the fifth-rank elder's expression became. Suddenly, Murong Yu's punch landed directly on the fifth-rank elder's body. The fifth-rank elder stumbled a dozen steps back before he could stabilize himself. However, his face was flushed red. "I lost." After a few breaths, the fifth-rank elder exhaled and said loudly. Then, he took a deep look at Murong Yu before he took a step forward and disappeared on the spot. Murong Yu defeated the fifth-rank elder, and it didn't look like he used much strength. Could it be that his strength was comparable to the sixth-rank elder's? The surrounding people were dumbfounded as they stared blankly at this scene for a long time. Looking at the reactions of the surrounding people, Murong Yu couldn't help but smile. He should have attracted the attention of some important people by now, right? However, this wasn't enough. He wanted to create more shock. Therefore, he took a step forward and disappeared on the spot in a flash. However, he didn't challenge the sixth-rank elder again. As a smart person, he definitely wouldn't display his full strength in front of everyone. Moreover, other than challenging the elder, there was another way to increase his reputation, which was even more shocking than challenging the elder directly. Chapter 1997. When he reappeared, Murong Yu was outside the heaven-reaching tower. Then, his figure flashed and he rushed into the heaven-reaching tower. When he was in the Tianwu world, Murong Yu had already passed through the heaven-reaching tower. However, the heaven-reaching tower at that time was more ordinary. It was only a creation realm origin artifact and was only a replica. However, the heaven-reaching tower in the Sun sect was the real deal. According to Murong Yu's estimation, it was at least a nether realm origin artifact. Because the entire Sun sect was enveloped under the heaven-reaching tower, the heaven-reaching tower was equivalent to the Sun sect's sect-protecting array. As long as one was in the Sun sect, they would always be under the surveillance of the heaven-reaching tower. As long as the owner of the heaven-reaching tower was willing, the heaven-reaching tower could easily kill anyone in the Sun sect. Of course, whether anyone was the owner of the heaven-reaching tower was another matter. Outside the heaven-reaching tower, there was a huge stone tablet erected. On the stone tablet were names. These were the highest realm, identity, and level of the celestial stairway of each realm who had passed through the heaven-reaching tower. Chaos Realm, Bright World Realm, Creation Realm. However, not everyone's name would be displayed on the stone tablet after passing through the heaven-reaching tower. Only the top 10,000 of each realm had the qualifications to appear. If one wanted their name to appear on the stone tablet, then they had to at least defeat the person on the ranking. The higher the celestial stairway, the higher the ranking. Among them, the limit for Chaos Realm disciples was the 3,000 celestial stairway. However, there were basically no Chaos Realm disciples who could successfully reach the 3,000 celestial stairway. After reaching the Bright World Realm, the threshold of the celestial stairway was higher. Murong Yu glanced at it and realized that to be qualified to enter the top 10,000 of the Bright World Realm, one had to reach at least the 50,000 celestial stairway. However, the 50,000 celestial stairway was not the limit of the Bright World Realm. The 100,000 celestial stairway was the limit of the Bright World Realm. Naturally, the 100,000 celestial stairway was the starting point of the creation realm. Legend had it that the limit of the creation realm was the 1,000,000 celestial stairway. However, no one in the top 10,000 of the creation realm had been able to reach the 1,000,000 celestial stairway. In fact, no creation realm powerhouse in the history of the solar system had been able to reach the 1,000,000 celestial stairway. That was where the problem lay. For example, the 3,000 steps of the chaotic void realm, the 100,000 steps of the bright universe realm, and the 1,000,000 steps of the creation realm. Since he couldn't reach the limit of the corresponding realm, how did he cross these steps? Breakthrough. Yes, it was a breakthrough. For example, very few chaotic void realm disciples were able to reach the top of the 3,000 sky stairways while being in the chaotic void realm. However, if he broke through to the bright world realm, he would be able to easily cross over. As long as one reached the creation realm, one could easily cross the 100,000 celestial steps of the bright world realm. The Tong Tian Tower stood tall between the heavens and the earth. The space inside was very large, and there were layers upon layers of stairs that one could not see the end of. Murong Yu smiled faintly and took a step forward. Whoosh! In a flash, Murong Yu had already turned into a stream of light, flying towards the top of the Tower of Babel. Who is this kid? How could he be so impatient? Didn't he know that directly crossing the heaven stairway of Tong Tian Tower would cause the pressure on him to increase exponentially? The higher the level, the more terrifying the pressure. It might even cause one to explode. Some of the Sun sect disciples who were challenging the heaven stairway in the Tower of Babel showed disdain on their faces. Originally, the pressure from the first step to the second step would double, and the pressure from the third step would be 3 times that of the first step. However, if one directly crossed the second step and directly reached the third step, the pressure would increase by at least 4 times. That was very terrifying. Of course, Murong Yu knew that. However, his goal today was to pass hundreds of thousands of steps. If he walked up step by step, the speed would be too slow. Therefore, he had to advance by leaps and bounds. Boom! Murong Yu's big foot stepped directly on the 10,000th step. The moment he appeared, an extremely terrifying pressure acted on his body out of thin air. However, Murong Yu's body did not tremble at all. This level of pressure was child's play to him. After feeling the pressure, Murong Yu took another step forward. This time, he appeared directly on the 20,000th step. After feeling the pressure again, his body continued to bounce. With every bounce, Murong Yu directly crossed the 10,000th step, no more, no less. After all, the greater the leap, the more terrifying the pressure. Moreover, this pressure was stacked and would increase as Murong Yu continued to climb. It would not disappear. Whoosh! Outside the Tower of Babel, a strong white light suddenly flashed on the huge stone tablet. Someone's ranking has changed. The ranking on the stone tablet has not changed for a long time. I wonder who broke through this time? The phenomenon of the stone tablet immediately attracted the attention of the nearby people. Therefore, many people's divine sense swept over. It's a newcomer, a bright world realm disciple named Murong Yu who successfully broke into the ranking? Those who can enter the stone tablet have at least crossed the 50,000th step. Will this rising star be able to maintain his position, or will he continue to move forward? More and more people were attracted by the change in the ranking on the stone tablet, and everyone began to talk about it. At this time, the news about Murong Yu also spread. This guy is only in the Bright World Realm level 5, but he actually defeated a level 5 elder? The Tower of Babel shows that he is in the Bright World Realm level 5. It can't be wrong. Seeing that Murong Yu was so powerful, the surrounding people were shocked. Whoosh! Just as everyone was shocked, Murong Yu's name was like the sun, flashing with extremely dazzling light. It rushed all the way forward and finally stopped at the 10th place. The original 10th place was squeezed out. This guy jumped another 10,000 steps on the stairway to heaven. The pressure he endured is probably far less than the pressure of the first place in the Bright World Realm, right? Everyone looked at the Tower of Babel with a shocked expression on their faces. However, when they thought that Murong Yu was someone who could defeat a level 5 elder, they calmed down. For an expert of this level, torturing Bright World Realm cultivators like them was like torturing ants. However, Murong Yu was only in the Bright World Realm. And he was only in the Bright World Realm level 5. Why was he so powerful when everyone was in the Bright World Realm? The surrounding people were quite upset. While everyone was sighing, Murong Yu's name flashed again. In the end, the original first place of the Bright World Realm was crushed. First place of the Bright World Realm, Murong Yu, Level 5 Bright World Realm, Sun Sect's Outer Disciple, 70,000th Step. First place, Level 5 Bright World Realm, Outer Disciple, 70,000th Step. Seeing this data, the surrounding people's faces turned green. Could it be that this guy wanted to slap their faces? He could defeat a Level 5 Elder, but he was still an Outer Disciple? And the most terrifying thing was that he had already rushed to the 70,000th step in the blink of an eye. If Murong Yu found out that he was still an Outer Disciple, would he not know whether to laugh or cry? The Sun Sect couldn't be blamed. After breaking through to the Bright World Realm, Outer Disciples could raise their status. However, Murong Yu didn't have the time to raise his status, so he was still an Outer Disciple. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The pressure of the tens of thousands of steps was terrifying, but it didn't pressure Murong Yu at all. Therefore, he continued to raise his status. Finally, he took a step onto the 70,000th step. Ding! Murong Yu is the first Bright World Realm cultivator to step onto the 100,000th step. He is the first Bright World Realm cultivator in the history of the Sun Sect and will be recorded in the annals of history. Just as Murong Yu successfully stepped onto the 100,000th step, a cold voice sounded in Murong Yu's ears and even in the entire Sun Sect. This voice didn't mean anything, but the meaning of these words was shocking. In an instant, countless people in the Sun Sect were stunned. Whether it was the Outer Disciples or the Senior Elders, they all heard this voice. What? Who is this Murong Yu? He can actually reach the 100,000th step at the Bright World Realm? The big shots of the Sun Sect were stunned, and their divine senses were projected to the heaven-reaching tower through the endless void. Even these big shots were stunned, let alone the ordinary disciples. Most of the ordinary disciples, the elders, and the ordinary elders were shocked by this voice and didn't have time to react. After regaining their senses, they immediately flew towards the Tower of Babel. They all wanted to see with their own eyes who this Murong Yu was to be so awesome. Murong Yu was also stunned. What does it mean to be recorded in the annals of history? Hee, wouldn't that mean that the people of the Sun Sect would have to look up to him in the future? What else could be more high-profile than this? If it was before, Murong Yu might be worried about the tree that stood out from the forest, but now he wanted to be so high-profile. Therefore, he wanted to continue to climb. Right at this moment, a series of immensely powerful divine senses shot out from the void and swept past his body. These people should be the upper echelons of the Sun Sect. If it was before, Murong Yu might be a little nervous in the face of so many big shots divine senses. But now, he had even killed a half-step Dark World Realm expert. Why would he be afraid of these people? Unless the other party was a Dark World Realm expert, he wouldn't be worried at all. However, although Murong Yu created a big commotion, it wasn't enough to attract the attention of a Dark World Realm expert. Thus, under the gazes of the Sun Sect's great figures, Murong Yu took a step forward without a change in his expression and disappeared. He continued to climb the stairway to heaven. This made the big shots of the Sun Sect feel depressed. If it were other Bright World Realm disciples or even intermediate elders, which one of them wouldn't be excited after seeing them? But Murong Yu seemed to treat them like air. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.